तो मेरे वाले
ये वाले नहीं है
बस YouTube पे है लाइव जा रहा है YouTube पे हमारे पास वहाँ पे तो प्रूफ है ही है। आवाज आ रही है मैम बंद करो ना अपने आप हो गया म्यूट कर दो पीछे आवाज Very good morning to one and all present here. I, Chavi Sharma, student from Banarsidas Chandiwala Institute of Physiotherapy, welcome you all to celebrate with us a Founders Day and International Women's Day. Founders Day is traditionally a very important day in the institute calendar when members of our college community, students, governors, staff, and friends meet to commemorate those who founded the college and who have bequeathed resources to its development. On the same day, we celebrate International Women's Day, where we spread the message of gender equality and work together in making a better society where there is no gender bias. This year, the United Nations declared the theme of the day as Gender Equality Today for a Sustainable Tomorrow. It's our privilege to have you all with us on this joyous occasion. To begin with the celebration, to formally open and to give us the words of welcome, it is my distinct honor to introduce to you Dr. Nidhi Kalra, officiating in charge of Banarsidas Chandiwala Institute of Physiotherapy. She has been inspiration to all of our students and the faculty with a brilliant demeanor and her incredible contribution in the field of physiotherapy. Thank you so much for joining us, ma'am. I would like to welcome her.
Good leaders create a vision, articulate the vision, passionately own the vision, and relentlessly drive it to completion. A very good morning to all the dignitaries, colleagues, students, and alumni. Today, we all are here to celebrate the vision of Shri Brij Krishnji Chandiwala, who was the founder of Shri Banarsi Das Chandiwala Seva Samarak Trust Society in the year 1952 with the mission to provide human services in the field of health and education. He was a close associate of Gandhiji and took forward his ideals of equal treatment and opportunities for all in matters of education and healthcare, irrespective of caste, creed, religion, or sect, and to provide quality institutions for the same. Shri Brij Kishan Chandiwala ji, the founding member of the Trust Society, was its first secretary and he presided over the daily affairs. Currently, Shri Aditya Krishna ji is our chairman. Shri Vipul Gupta ji is the vice chairman of the trust. And Dr. Sujata Anand is the secretary of this esteemed trust. Shri Vijay Narayan ji being the treasurer, and Bhuvan Mohan ji, Surender Saini ji, and Gautam Narayan ji being the esteemed members of the same. All of these are working to progress, to bring about progress under this trust society. In healthcare, currently, the society is running Banarsidas Chandiwala Institute of Medical Sciences in Delhi, Banarsidas Chandiwala Eye and Dental Center at Jama Masjid, Delhi, Banarsidas Chandiwala Eye Hospital in Motihari, Bihar. In the education sector, the society is currently running 5 institutions: Janki Devi Memorial College, Chandiwala Institute of Hotel Management and Catering Technology, Banarsidas Chandiwala Institute of Information Technology, and of course, Banarsidas Chandiwala Institute of Physiotherapy, besides Banarsidas Chandiwala Institute of Professional Studies at Dwarka. We all are here today to express our gratitude and must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them. Let's all pledge to take forward his vision and mission. International Women's Day happens to fall on our Founders' Day. I wish you all a very happy Women's Day today. Yatra naryastu pujyante ramante tatra devata. Yatra tastu na pujyante sarvast tatra phala kriya. Where women are honored, divinity blossoms there. And where they are dishonored, all the actions remain unfruitful. This International Day, let us all show appreciation, respect, love to all the incredible women in our lives, be it your mother, wife, or daughter. Let us show that we are proud of their efforts and pledge to create a world where women do not have to face any affliction. We celebrate this day today only because of the historical footsteps of great women who fought for their rights. For this year, United Nations Women has set up the theme for Women for Tomorrow. The theme covers and recognizes the efforts of women and roles women played during the time of global pandemic. We women break the limitations, destroy the boundaries, defeat the challenges, and display God's power through our existence. Progress of women is progress for all of us. Giving priority to women is not an option. It is a necessity. Giving more opportunities to women besides a matter of rights is also a manifestation of good economic sense. With this note of Michelle Backlit, I welcome you all to this event to celebrate the occasion in full spirit. Thank you so much and have a nice day today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us. And thank you for your heartwarming remarks and such powerful statements. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank the founders and trustees of our college and their focus, commitment, and sheer will. Their strong leadership and support has contributed to make this institution prestigious. As we all know, Founders' Day is the most important day for an institution. It is the day when a thought, a philosophy, or a vision is transformed into concrete and invincible reality. The philosophy becomes the guiding star for the institution to take form, grow, and prosper. Today, on 8th March, we celebrate our annual Founders' Day, a day when we remember the founders of the institute and value their legacy. Shri Banarsidas Chandiwala Seva Samarak Trust Society was established in 1952 by Shri Brij Krishna Chandiwala ji in the memory of his late father, Shri Banarsidas Chandiwala ji. Shri Banarsidas Chandiwala Seva Samarak Trust Society is a registered society under the Societies Registration Act and is located at Chandiwala Estate, Ma Anandmay Ashram Marg, Kalkaji, New Delhi. It was established with a specific mission and a vision. The mission being able to provide human services in the field of health and education, and vision of equal treatment and opportunities for all in matters of education and healthcare, irrespective of caste, creed, religion, and to provide quality institutions for the same. Let's begin with the basic introduction of our trust, Banarsidas Chandiwala Seva Samarak Trust Society, and our college with a video.
Brij Krishanji was born in the year 1900 in a highly regarded Chandiwala family who were senior traders in Chandni Chowk in Delhi. For the first time in 1980, his meeting with Babu deeply influenced Brij Krishanji and became his ardent follower and associate. Brij Krishanji took to meager meals and to kill under Gandhi. He would not practice, but would speak on drugs. He used to spin khadi on spinning wheels and to wear clothes made from that yarn only. But he was frugal with the usage of paper and made sure to use it till its last bit.
Khushhal Rai. He was also there in 1920. Shri Banarsidas Chandiwala Seva Smarak Trust Society. Shri Banarsidas Chandiwala Seva Smarak Trust Society was founded by Shri Brij Krishan Chandiwala ji, who was a freedom fighter and a close associate of Mahatma Gandhi.
Brij Krishanji was born in the year 1900 in a highly regarded Chandiwala family who were silver traders in Chandni Chowk in Delhi.
He was educated at St. Stephen's College, Delhi, where he happened to meet Bapu for the first time in 1918. His meeting with Bapu deeply influenced Brij Krishanji and he became his ardent follower and a close associate. Brij Krishanji took to meager meals and to wearing khadi under Gandhiji's influence. He would not use any mattress but would sleep on rugs. He used to spin khadi on spinning wheel and would wear clothes made from that yarn only.
Though a prolific writer, but he was frugal with the usage of paper and would make sure to use it till its last bit.
While in Delhi, Gandhiji used to often stay at Chandiwala's Haveli at Katra Khushhal Rai.
He was also there in 1924, where he observed his 21-day long fast for communal harmony.
During the 1930s, Brij Krishanji helped organize the stone breakers of Delhi into a union, took up cases of violation of their rights with the Delhi administrators and in courts of law to ensure better compliance of government regulations regarding their work and to get compensation for them. Though he was asked by Bapu not to participate in Salt March in 1930, but he quit eating sugar and salt after that and did not do so for more than 50 years until mandated by his doctors. Brij Krishanji was with Gandhiji on the day of his assassination, and it was he who prepared Gandhiji's body for cremation.
Brij Krishanji's devotion for Bapu had no bounds. He authored a 3-volume book, Gandhiji Ki Delhi Diary, which chronicles Gandhi's day in Delhi. The other notable book that he authored in Hindi was titled Bapu Ke Charnon Mein, which was later translated into English as At the Feet of Bapu.
He was affectionately called as Bhaiji by his associates. Taking the responsibility of providing human service in education, post-independence, Brij Krishan ji founded Shri Banarsidas Chandiwala Seva Smarak Trust Society in 1952 in the memory of his father, late Shri Banarsidas Chandiwala.
Post-independence, women education was a big challenge and of utmost significance. And Shri Brij Krishan ji addressed this issue by setting up Janki Devi Memorial College in the memory of his mother, Srimati Janki Devi ji. It was started in barracks at Rouse Avenue and was inaugurated by Mrs. Indira Gandhi in 1959.
The foundation stone for the present building was laid at an off-North campus site in central Delhi at Sir Gangaram Hospital Marg to cater Central and West Delhi population by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru in 1960. This followed by laying of the foundation stone for the residential quarters by the 4th President of India, Shri V.V. Giri.
Janki Devi Memorial College is one of the prominent seats of women education in Delhi and is an autonomous institution affiliated to Delhi University.
The other educational institute for girls run by the trust is Janki Devi Vocational Center that equips the girls with vocational skills and paves the way towards their economic independence. Brij Krishan ji was honored with Padma Shri in 1963 for his devotion and contributions in the field of social services. Shri Banarsidas Chandiwala Seva Smarak Trust Society runs 4 professional colleges affiliated to Guru Gobind Singh Indraprasth University.
Banarsidas Chandiwala Institute of Physiotherapy is approved by Delhi Council of Physiotherapy and Occupational Therapy, Government of NCT Delhi, and is categorized as Grade A+ by SFRC.
Banarsidas Chandiwala Institute of Information Technology and Banarsidas Chandiwala Institute of Professional Studies Dwarka are both AICTE approved institutes also and categorized as Grade A+ and Grade A by SFRC respectively.
Banarsidas Chandiwala Institute of Hotel Management and Catering Technology. It is an AICTE approved and NAC accredited institute and also categorized as Grade A+ by SFRC.
Furthering the other mission, health, the Trust Society is running multi-speciality hospitals, dispensaries and healthcare centers and offering varied services through Banarsidas Chandiwala Institute of Medical Sciences and Eye Hospital at Kalkaji, New Delhi. Banarsidas Chandiwala Eye and Dental Care Center, Jama Masjid. And Banarsidas Chandiwala Eye Hospital in Motihari, Bihar.
How do I stop sharing? Thank you all for watching the video. We hope that this video imbibed you with the knowledge and the history of our founders and the Institute. Now, on the International Women's Day, to celebrate women, let me introduce to you all a hypnotic and talented performer, Shivam Anand, third year BPT student, who's going to give us a performance to pay his tribute to the women of the world. Shivam has participated in many competitions and knows various instruments, flute being one of them. He has mesmerized us all with his performances in the past. So he has recorded another masterpiece, playing his flute for the Women's Day. Let's hear it. Wow, what a performance it was. Thank you so much, Shivam, for that mesmerizing performance. Listening to that melodious song takes me to my roots, back to Indian roots. Now, I would like to introduce you all to our next performer, Pratyaksh Rastogi of BPT third year. Pratyaksh is very passionate about music and he always fills our hearts with joy through his singing. Not only this, he also got first position in a singing competition organized by Front Row. He has recorded a beautiful song for this Women's Day, and the title is Ori Chiraiya. So let's hear it.
ओरी चिड़ैया नन्ही सी चिड़िया अंगना में फिर आ जा रे। ओरी चिड़ैया नन्ही सी चिड़िया अंगना में फिर आ जा रे। अंधियारा है घना और लहू से सुना किरणों के तिनके अंबर से चुनके अंगना में फिर आ जा रे। तुझ पे हजारों सितम है किए, हमने तुझको जहां भर के जुल्म किए। हमने सोचा नहीं तू जोड़ जाएगी ये ज़मीं तेरे बिन सूनी रह जाएगी। किसके दम पे सजेगा तेरा अंगना, ओरी चिड़ैया नन्ही सी गुड़िया, अंगना में फिर आ जा रे।
Oh, what a wonderful performance given by the Pratyaksha Rastogi. So, this song indicates the love and the affection between a girl and the parents. It is more than difficult for a girl to leave her own home and accept her in laws after the marriage. It is a whole life what a girl gets after the marriage. In this song, the father is missing his daughter since there is no one to execute the naughtiness with so much of innocence. The daughter is the pillar of the family, from the helping her mother in the kitchen to generate the income for the family. A girl can do every task. So, we all should be respectful to the girls and the importance to developing the nation, not to discriminate against them. And for what we need the gender sensitization. So, let's begin the webinar on the gender sensitization. Gender sensitization is about changing the behavior and instilling the empathy into the views that we hold about our own and other genders. Gender sensitizations can be achieved by conducting the various sensitization campaigns, training centers, workshops, programs, and etc. Sensitization is the domain of humanities and the social sciences is seen as an awareness informed propensity and the deposition which aims at changing the behavior so that it is sensitive to the certain issues. Gender sensitization generally refers to the theories which claims that the modifications of the behavior of the teachers and the parents towards the children can have a causal effect on the gender equality. It helps them to determine with assumptions in the matter of the gender valid and which are stereotype generalizations. Gender awareness requires not only the intellectual effort, but also the empathy and the open-mindedness. It opens up the widest possible range of the life options for both the women and the men issues, such as problems of the sexual harassment, sexual stereotyping. Death of the counselor sensitive to the complexities such as caste, minority experience, or sexuality, lack of special emotions and the academic support of both at the personal and the institutional level for the students from the marginalized groups, issues pertaining of the infrastructure and the health facilities, lack of encouragement and recognitions for the research, painting, innovation in the gender sensitization, etc., are pertinent to ponder. Gender sensitivity helps to generate and respect for the individuals regardless of the sex. A change in the perception is need to the hour and require the orientation of the policymakers, curriculum developers, and media professionals, adult learners, and even the public at large. Women empowerment in India is a most effective tool for the development as these days. Women across the world are actively working as a leader, surpassing others in all the spheres of the life. Women are known for delivering multiple roles effortlessly per day, and thus they are considered the backbone of the every society. Women plays a wide range of roles such as caring mothers, loving daughters, and capable colleagues. Why do you think women are being discriminated almost all aspects of their life, whether it be the workplace or at home? The root cause of the gender discrimination is the patriarchal mind set prevalent in the world. Though this mindset is changing with urbanization, education, and still there is a long way to go for the permanent change in the scenario. Now, to understand and learn more about the gender sensitization, we have us one of the most successful social worker, Dr. Ushwinder Kaur Pokley. It's my pleasure to introduce her, Professor Dr. Ushwinder Kaur Pokley is currently the professor and the former head of the Department of the Social Work at Jamia Millia Islamia. She is trained social worker with 30 years of the teaching and research experience. She is also the former head department of the social work, Punjab University, Patiala. Major areas of the specialization being women's studies, gerontology, and HIV/AIDS. She has a number of the papers published in the journals of the national as well as international repute. She has participated in the various national and international conferences and presented the papers and has received the national and international awards like Young Social Scientist Award from the Indian Social Science Association and Shiksha Ratna Purashkar from the Indian and International Friendship Society, an outstanding paper presented at Bangkok. She is a trainer and a capacity builder. She has undertaken a number of the projects and has widely traveled in India and abroad. She has supervised a number of the studies. She is as a recipient of the Open Doctoral Fellowship ISSR. She is associate editor of the journal. The Social Ion, an international referred journal and a peer reviewer for the journals like India Journal of the Social Work, TISS, SAGE, publications. She's on the examination, academic, and the selection committee panels for the various Indian universities. Thank you so much for joining us, ma'am. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, dear, for such an elaborate introduction. Good morning, everyone. At the outset, I would like to thank Mr. Vipul Gupta ji, Vice Chairman, Dr. Nidhi Kalra, officiating in charge, and administration of BCIP for giving me this opportunity to speak in this webinar on gender sensitization and interact with the students and faculty of Banarsi Das Chandiwala Institute of Physiotherapy. Am I audible? Hello?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Okay. I congratulate you all for the Founders Day celebration and the International Women's Day 2022, which has a theme, Break the Bias. International Women's Day is celebrated every year on March 8th to recognize the social, economic, cultural, and political achievements of women. It celebrates the women's achievements and raises awareness about women's equality. Observed for the first time in 1911, International Women's Day aims to highlight and recognize the achievements of women in different spheres, while also bringing attention to important issues including gender discrimination that exists even today. Organizations like colleges and institutions like yours across the world celebrate International Women's Day by holding public speeches, rallies, exhibitions, workshops, seminars, webinars on themes and concepts, the debates, quiz competitions, and lectures related to gender and women. Gender sensitization is a very pertinent issue. And for today's occasion, it is all the more important. This is important in the contemporary scenario when we all see around us the disparity, discrimination, and inequality among genders. Although the Constitution of India grants men and women equal rights, gender disparity remains. Research shows that gender discrimination mostly in favor of men in many realms, including the workplace. Discrimination affects many aspects of the lives of women. Across India, gender inequality results in unequal opportunities And while it impacts on the lives of both genders, statistically, it is the girls that are more disadvantaged. Ingrained in patriarchy, gender inequality impacts not only women, but equally impacts men and the third gender as well. In order to pitch the gaps and to treat opposite gender with respect and equality, one needs to be sensitive towards the other gender. Thus, today's webinar becomes all the more appropriate to create sensitivity towards gender on the occasion of International Women's Day today. So with this background, I would like to make a presentation if it is possible. Is my screen visible? Hello? Hello? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
And is the screen visible?
Yes, ma'am, it's fine.
I can see the screen now. Okay, so today's webinar is on gender sensitization. And like our friend was saying, gender sensitization, for many years, the dominant gender has been men, while women were the minority. Since centuries, women have received differential treatment, not just at homes, but also in schools and workplaces. Gender inequality in the patriarchal setup of India is not something Is it a full screen now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So gender inequality in the patriarchal setup of India is not something which is unheard of. Stark gender roles, overt gender discrimination, and evaluation of women and girls are socially conditioned into our daily lives. However, as the time passed by, the things started changing slowly. Nonetheless, they are far from perfect. Gender inequality remains a serious issue in today's time. Education is the only hope. Hence, it's imperative that our curriculums lay strong emphasis on inculcating values of equality, inclusivity, and diversity. Thus, organizing workshop, lectures, webinars on gender sensitization are pertinent to create gender sensitivity among students, faculty, and non-teaching staff of the higher education. Okay, because I requested the organizers that it is going to be a little interactive session, I would like you to unmute some of you and just let me know what comes to your mind when you say gender. What is the alternative word for gender when you say gender? Anyone, please. Yes, anyone who can unmute and just let me know what comes to your mind when you say gender? Is there anyone? Kavita, do people have an option to unmute? Hello?
Yes, ma'am. Everyone is having options to unmute and answer.
Yes, please. That will be more interesting. Otherwise, it will be a kind of a lecture I give and I go away. Anyone? That will be not, because there are going to be some more activities, some more options where I would like you people to respond. वो कैसे होगा फिर?
Ma'am, sexual category.
Very good. Neha Pandey. Thank you, Neha. Yes. Anybody else?
Sanya.
Sanya, yes. Okay,
Ma'am,
Sanya.
I said.
Okay, okay. Yes. Anybody else, please open up. There's nothing right, nothing wrong.
Ma'am, difference in characteristics.
Difference in?
Physical characteristics.
Yes. Okay, good. Anybody else? जब हम वर्ड जेंडर बोलते हैं तो क्या आता है दिमाग में? जब कोई कहता है कि अच्छा जेंडर स्टडीज का डिपार्टमेंट है या यूनिवर्सिटी में या आपके यहाँ जेंडर वर्ड यूज करते हैं तो क्या आता है दिमाग में? इमीडिएटली व्हाट कम्स टू योर माइंड? व्हाट इज अ पर्सन टॉकिंग अबाउट? Okay, understanding gender, for most of the people in general, the word gender means women. However, gender is not only about women. Generally, जब लोग बात करते हैं तो जेंडर को बोलते हैं कि ओके वुमेन के बारे में बात की जा रही है, but gender is not about women. Invariably, even with gender, a word sex is also used. The term sex is closely linked often and it is used interchangeably. Yet these two words are not synonyms. So what is the difference between the two? Gender refers to culturally, socially constructed differences between two sexes. It is a way the society encourages the teachers and two sexes to behave in different ways through socialization. Gender refers to differences in the attitudes and behaviors as it is byproduct of socialization process rather than that of biology. It is something which is constructed sociologically. Are the slides moving? Can anyone let me know?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you can see the photograph on the side, the picture on the side. The gender is somewhere up here. It is not there in the underpants. It is not just the physical difference. It is something which is constructed here in the mind, and it is in the attitudes of people. It is culturally, socially constructed, the difference between two sexes. Sex simply refers to the natural, physical, biological differences between men and women. Sex differences are about the fact that men produce sperms while women bear and breastfeed children. So there are certain biological facts, there are certain biological realities that men produce sperms and women produce children, or they can bear children. Men and women have different bodies and hormones and chromosomes. When we say equality, we talk about men and women equality, that biologically that equality can never come. Because biologically there is a difference between man and a woman because their bodies are different, their hormones are different, their chromosomes are different. Sex is the fact of human biology. Gender is not. Sex मानव जीव विज्ञान का एक तथ्य है, gender नहीं है. Okay, to understand better men and women, I want you to do an activity, but अगर आप unmute नहीं करेंगे तो ये activity नहीं हो पाएगी. So I request you all to make the session more interactive, more understanding. आप please अपने आप को unmute करके मुझे बताएं कि अभी एक फ्रेंड ने कहा था कि characteristics are different, the traits are different. So what defines men and what defines women? क्या क्या identify characters हैं आदमी और औरत के? तो पहले आदमी के लिए बताएंगे कि आदमी को क्या चीज डिफाइन करती है. What are the characteristics of a man?
Facial hair.
Yes, Arunit.
Facial hair.
Patience. Can you please repeat, Arunit?
Ma'am, facial hair.
Facial hair. Okay. Okay, done. Facial hair. Good. Next. Others? प्लीज एक आदमी को देखकर कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स, आदमी में क्या डिफरेंस है, क्या किसको हम आदमी कहते हैं और किसको औरत कहते हैं, क्या डिफरेंस है दोनों में? फिजिकली, बिहेवियर वाइज, एनीथिंग? I think there are 40 people connected. It's very discouraging. Yes. Mohammad Asif.
Hoarse voice.
Bhumika, yes, hoarse voice. Okay. Good, Bhumika. Thank you. Anya, आप कुछ कहेंगी? और वुमेन के लिए कोई कुछ बोलेगा?
Long hair.
Long hair.
Majorly.
Okay. Sanya says long hair. Okay. Yes. Any other thing for women? Behavior wise?
High pitched voice.
Okay. It was not clear, beta. आवाज crack कर रही है. Yes. Come on, speak. बोलिए.
Ma'am, beautiful and flowy clothes.
Very good. Beautiful and flowy clothes. Nature wise और उनकी बिहेवियर को अगर कुछ कहें तो आदमी को कैसे डिफाइन करेंगे और औरत को कैसे डिफाइन करेंगे? तो बिहेवियर में डिफरेंस होता है, कुछ एक्सपेक्टेशन होती है.
Ma'am, women are more sensible and emotional.
Very good, Anjali. Okay, thank you.
Ma'am, men are a bit strict than women.
Very good, Bhumika. Men are strict and more particular. Okay. Yes. Come on, others. बोलिए.
Ma'am, men are gentle and women are more calm.
Men are gentle, women are calm. Okay. Thank you very much, everybody. These are certain traits. Maybe this can help others. ये कुछ traits हैं. इनमें से क्या आप निकाल पाएंगे कि men के कौन से हैं, women के कौन से हैं? Active.
It goes for both.
Okay.
Both.
Considerate.
Both.
Women. Aggressive.
Both.
Men.
Men. Creative.
Both.
Ambitious.
Both.
Nurturing.
Women.
Independent.
Both.
Emotional.
Both.
Women. Both. Displays leadership.
Both.
Both.
Artistic.
Both.
Excitable.
Women.
Empathetic.
Women.
Mechanical.
Males.
Men. Gentle.
Women.
Women. Outspoken.
Both.
Neat.
Women.
Women.
Persistent.
Both.
Understanding.
Women.
आउटस्पोकन पे मैं एग्री करती हूँ क्योंकि अभी तक सिर्फ विमेन बोल रही हैं. मेन जो हैं इस ग्रुप में मुझे तो पता नहीं, आई कांट इवन सी आर देयर एनी मेन इन द ग्रुप, या हम जेंडर सेंसिटाइजेशन विमेन की कर रहे हैं सिर्फ? ऑर्गेनाइजर्स में से कोई है जो मुझे बता पाए कि क्या इस ग्रुप में मेल्स भी हैं? एनीबडी हु कैन रिस्पॉन्ड टू मी?
Yes, there are.
बट मुझे ऐसा लगा कि कोई नहीं है, ऐसे लगा कि वुमेन ही सिर्फ इस सेशन को अटेंड कर रहे हैं. ओके.
No, ma'am,
There are. Okay, so a study was done with the students like you and a survey was done and it was found that generally जो लोगों की thought है उसके अंदर they said that all the odds were males and all the evens were for females. That is active, aggressive, ambitious, independent, display leadership, excitable, mechanical, outspoken, and persistent. They felt males were like that. Whereas women were considerate, women were creative, women were nurturing, women were emotional, women were artistic, women were empathetic, women were gentle, and women were neat. Frankly, if we go into the general public and we ask them, अभी तो जैसे आप में से कोई ये कह रहा था कि both, you are somewhere very close to gender sensitivity. Yes, it can happen with both. We'll go further. But generally हम जनरल पब्लिक में जब ये बात करते हैं तो ये इम्प्रेशन रहता है, ये कैरेक्टर्स रहते हैं कि वुमेन जो है वो कंसिडरेट होती है, आदमी जो है एग्रेसिव होता है. women जो है वो nurturing होती है, आदमी ambitious होता है. तो ये feelings एक जनरल पब्लिक से जब हमने सर्वे किया, जनरल स्टूडेंट से किया, तो ये निकल के आया. जो एक स्टीरियोटाइप है, जो एक माइंड में हमारे सेट है, उसके अंदर, प्लीज डोंट गो फॉर द स्पेलिंग्स, आई हैव टेकन दिस फ्रॉम द इंटरनेट. सो बट स्टिल मैस्कुलिन अगर आप देखें तो ये सारे कैरेक्टर्स लॉजिकल, रैशनल, एग्रेसिव, एक्सप्लॉइटेटिव, स्ट्रेटेजिक, independent, competitive, boss and decision maker. These are the characteristics which are attached with the males. These are masculine stereotypes that are there. We'll come to stereotypes further. Feminine ke andar, women are intuitive, emotional, submissive, sympathetic, spontaneous, tolerant, cooperative, and faithful supporters. But then this study was swapped. Characters को हमने swap किया, तो हमने देखा कि जो कैरेक्टर्स हमने मेल्स के लिए सोचे थे, जब हम उनको स्वैप करके फीमेल्स के लिए करते हैं और फीमेल्स वालों को मेल्स के लिए करते हैं, तो वो भी फिट बैठते हैं. Women are active. Women are many times aggressive, like one of the respondent, one of our friend was saying. Both can be aggressive. Both can be creative. Both can be ambitious. So what I wanted to say was that there are certain kind of ideas, certain kind of attitudes we have towards males and females. जिसको define करने के लिए society ने कुछ चीजें define कर रखी हैं कि अच्छा कोई aggressive है तो लड़का ही होगा, अगर कोई nurturing है तो लड़की हो सकती है. We have seen men who are very nurturing, who are caring parents, fathers are there. Display of leadership, we see you have officiating woman here who's heading in charge of your department. We have a vice chancellor in Jamia who's a first woman vice chancellor of Central University. So they can display leadership. So these characters, if we see, these can be swapped with each other. So let us do another activity. I will say certain gender statements. You have to tell me. Now, there are certain things which are biological, जो कुदरती हैं, जो कुदरत की दी हुई हैं. जैसे कि एक बच्चे को जन्म एक माँ ही दे सकती है, लेकिन दूध अगर पिलाना है तो बॉटल से पिता भी पिला सकता है. और अगर बच्चे को जन्म देना है तो जो मेल है वही स्पर्म जो है वो कंट्रीब्यूट कर सकता है. Right? So there are certain things which are biological, which cannot be changed. But there are certain things which are created by society or which are socially constructed. So let us see what are certain things that have been sociologically constructed and what are the biological constructs. Girls are gentle, boys are not. Please unmute yourself and say, is it a biological fact or is it a sociologically constructed thing?
Sociologically constructed thing.
Thank you, Sanya. Sociologically constructed. Mothers can take better care of the child.
Sociologically
constructed thing.
Sociologically constructed. Real men do not cry.
Sociological.
असली मर्द रोते नहीं. Women can produce child, man cannot. महिला बच्चा पैदा कर सकती है, पुरुष नहीं कर सकता.
Biological.
Biological. Only women get sexually harassed at workplace. हाँ, महिलाओं का उत्पीड़न होता है. ये sociological. Men's voices break at puberty, women's voice does not. Biological. Women are emotional while men are practical. Sociological. Women can breastfeed children, men cannot. Biological. Right. There is some issue. Why is it not moving?
किसी ने रिस्पॉन्ड किया? बच्चों ने रिस्पॉन्ड किया?
So there is some issue with the movement, so I'll keep it like this. So girls are gentle, boys are not, rightly said, sociological. Mothers take better care. So these are basically, there are certain statements which are sociologically constructed by the society, whereas there are certain facts which are biological and that is why they are biologically constructed. Very closely related to these constructs are the sex roles, which are defined, which are biologically defined, and gender roles, which are sociologically defined. Sex roles usually involve the acting out of one's biological predisposition. In young males, their sex roles are associated typically with their greater aggressive, combative, and competitive nature that is unusual with the young girls. And in the young females, their sex roles are usually manifested by nurturing and compromising behavior, less frequently seen in boys. कि लड़का अगर झगड़ा कर रहा है कि हाँ ये तो लड़का है ना, इसको गुस्सा आता है, और combative है, competitive है. Girl is considered to be nurturing and compromising behavior. These might actually better be called as sex typical, or what is called as male typical and female typical behaviors. Gender roles are the roles that men and women are expected to play in society. Society has allocated different roles, responsibilities, and activities to women and men according to what is considered appropriate. समाज के ने महिलाओं और पुरुषों को उपयुक्त समझे जाने के अनुसार विभिन्न भूमिकाएं, जिम्मेदारियां और गतिविधियां आवंटित की हैं. यानी कि ये जो हैं ये स्क्रिप्टेड हैं. ये कहा माना जाता है कि ये होना चाहिए. Often, not always, men are supposed to earn the income for the family, while women take care of the household and children. The society decides that women are going to be in the role of caregiver. They are going to take care of children. They're going to take care of the family. They are going to take care of the household, whereas man is going to go outside and earn for the family. And because of these roles, we can see some kind of gender division of labor in our society. In society, both men and women work, but their work are different in nature and in value. Though women take care of social and emotional well-being, but their work is usually less valued than men's. Often women's work is not considered important. She is often paid less or not at all. It is not mentioned in official reports, documents, nor counted in national statistics. If you go to rural areas, you will find women going to खेतों में जा रही हैं, वो गाय के लिए, भैंस के लिए चारा ला रही हैं, खेतों के अंदर जब वीडिंग हो रही है तो वो कर रही हैं, और क्योंकि वो उनके अपने घर का खेत है वो काम कर रही, घर का काम भी कर रही हैं. Even in the urban areas, you will see that women are taking care of the cleaning, washing, doing everything in the house, which is not being accounted for. And even if they're working outside, invariably up to care wage laws आ गए तो काफी हद तक payments जो हैं इक्वल होने लगी हैं या काफी हद तक बराबरी पे हैं. लेकिन अभी भी बहुत सी जगहों पे सेम काम के लिए औरत को आदमी से कम पेमेंट मिलती है. और ये जो सारे काम हैं, obviously if you start, for example, if you look at your own house, the mother or the woman of the house who's working, अगर आप उनको एक दिन के लिए छुट्टी पर भेज दें और एक दिन के लिए आपको उसी काम के लिए एक नौकर रखना पड़ जाए या काम वाले करने पड़ जाए तो आपका बहुत सारा पैसा उसमें लग जाएगा. But this woman, this mother of the house, she's not being paid for it. If you start accounting for, if you start counting the money that is to be paid to her, and if this goes into the statistics of our GDP, it will be very different. This kind of work, this kind of payment has not even been mentioned in the official reports, documents, nor accounted in national statistics. The work and contribution of women remains invisible. किसी ने एक आदमी से पूछा कि तुम्हारी वाइफ क्या करती हैं? He said, "My what does she do?" He said, "My wife does not work. My wife does not work. Her work remains invisible." Is this picture? Can you see the picture?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you can see the multiple hands that are being shown to the woman. She is putting a picture at her back. She's cleaning, taking care of the child, grinding, office if she's working. Along with it, COVID has shown us. Abhi COVID raha to multiple tasking kar rahi thi women. And they were even taking care of the household chores, taking care of the office things. So multiple things, but because they are at home, खास तौर पे housewives के लिए कहा जाता है कि कुछ नहीं करती, वो कुछ नहीं करती. This is a picture by an 8th class student when his father told him that his mother does not work. He drew up what he saw. तो उसने वो ड्रॉ किया जो उसने देखा. और अब ये जो फोटोग्राफ है, it is a cover of the Indian government 2021 gender report. Priceless, immeasurable. All these kind of attitudes, ideas get into us because of the socialization that we have had for years together. सदियों से हम कुछ चीजें देखते आए हैं, जिसके साथ हम बड़े होते आए हैं. हमने इसको हमें सोशलाइज किया गया है इन्हीं चीजों को देखते समझते हुए. इसीलिए जो हमारे विचार हैं, हमारी जो धारणाएं हैं, वो उस पर निर्भर हैं. Let us check our socialization a little. This is an activity again. I would like you to put a pronoun or an adjective into the fill-ups that are there. The nurse looked very dash patient-like dash. Please unmute and say something. The nurse looked very, put an adjective.
Ma'am, calm.
Calm, okay. The patient like?
Behavior.
Her, him, it, anything?
Her
Pronoun.
behavior.
Her.
Her.
The gold chain was missing, found missing. The servant did not turn up next day. Could dash be the thief? Pronoun.
She.
He be the thief.
Could she be the thief? Could he be the thief? The pilot landed the damaged aircraft safely. All the passengers congratulated. Pronoun.
Him or her.
Who said that? Ridhima. Him or her?
Him
A
or her.
disciplined- Okay. The disciplined soldier will do what dash is told.
He or she.
She is told.
He or she.
The thief in police custody tried to run away, but the inspector caught.
Him or her.
Inspector was quick in dash reaction.
His or her.
Him or her.
Huh. It is tough job, feels a constable. I agree with. Quickly. I agree with. Anybody
Him or
else?
her.
Him or her. A good teacher will not lose dash patience with children fast.
His or her. His or her.
A cook may become old, but not his or her cooking. Yes, what cooking?
His or her.
Okay, a doctor will advise dash patient correctly.
His or her.
His or her. Very good. I am very happy to see that at least those people who are responding are gender sensitive. Already gender sensitive. And this is very good because you will be the carriers of gender sensitivity in the society. Invariably, when we ask people, the response that we get, or generally jo response aata hai, wo rehta hai, the nurse looked very pretty, the patient liked her. Reason being that we have been socialized in thinking that the nurse is going to be a lady, the nurse is going to be a woman. क्योंकि हम अपने अस्पतालों में ज्यादातर औरतों को ही नर्स के रूप में देखते हैं, जबकि नर्स के रूप में लड़के भी हैं. अब नर्सिंग जो है वो बॉयज भी करते हैं, men are also. You have seen that movie, I think in Bollywood, there was a movie, Dostana, by Abhishek Bachchan and John Abraham. What was the profession of Abhishek Bachchan in that?
Nurse.
He was a nurse, right? The gold chain was found missing. The servant did not turn up next day. Invariably, people say, could he be the thief? Because when we think about it, we say it is going to be a male. Chori ho sakta hai, chorni ke bare mein hum nahi sochte. But it's good. The response I got was that it can be both. The pilot landed the damaged aircraft. All the passengers congratulated him because invariably we feel that the plane is being flown by only men. The disciplined soldier will do what he is told because in our picture, in our mind, soldiers are men. Similarly, for other things, the inspector was quick in his reaction because we feel that inspector is only a male person. It is tough job to feels the constable. I agree with him, but somebody said her too, because now the women are also there in police and they can be constable. A good teacher will not lose her patience with her children fast. So people said his also. Now there are male teachers also who are teaching. So they are teachers. A cook may become old, but not his cooking. Generally, men cook hote hain. Lekin there are women who are cooking. So there are women chefs. You know that Pankaj Badoria, the famous chef who comes on the television. So there are women chefs also. So that can be her cooking also. A good doctor will advise his patients correctly, because doctor जब हम कहते हैं तो वो मेल मेंबर्स को समझा जाता है, नर्स जो है वो फीमेल होगी, लेकिन ऐसा नहीं है. There are many women doctors. You all are physiotherapists, going to be in a way doctors. You are going to help the patients. इनमें से women हैं बहुत सारी. So this is the kind of socialization according to which people feel that these are certain professions which are for men and these are certain professions which are for women. So there are certain gender stereotypes according to which we feel these particular things are for men and these particular things are for women. To understand stereotype, in general parlance, it is typecasting. In social psychology, a stereotype is an overt generalized belief about a particular category of people. आदमी है तो ऐसा ही होगा, औरत है तो ऐसी ही होगी. ये कैटेगरी किसी भी लोगों के लिए हम जो सोचते हैं कि इमेज बन जाती है, वो एक स्टीरियोटाइप है कि this is what we think about, and that is over generalization of the belief. Stereotyping involves over categorization of people. Okay, I will ask you to do an activity in your mind. I just want you to think, ये जो लिंग संबंधी रूढ़ियां हैं, इसके बारे में समझने के लिए मैं चाहूंगी आप सिर्फ एक इमेज क्रिएट करें अपने माइंड में. A nurse, soldiers, road worker, and beautician. And when you do that, just tell me bingo. Anybody? You just have to think about a nurse, soldiers, road worker, and beautician. सोच लिया?
Yes, ma'am.
Bingo. Say bingo.
Bingo.
Bingo. Okay. Is it something like this, Tanya, you have thought? क्या ऐसा कुछ सोचा आप लोगों ने? जवाब की उम्मीद नहीं रखती, इसलिए मैं खुद ही बता देती हूँ कि शायद अगर किसी ने अलग सोचा है तो प्लीज अनम्यूट एंड से, अदरवाइज मैं ये अज्यूम कर रही हूँ कि सबने ऐसा ही सोचा. You thought of the nurse. Can you see my cursor? You thought of the nurse?
Yes.
Like this?
Yes, ma'am.
When you think of soldiers, you thought about this.
Yes, ma'am.
Thinking about a road worker, you thought about this. And when I said beautician, you thought something like this.
Yes, ma'am.
Now look at this. Is this also what I asked you to think about? Could we think like this also?
Yes, ma'am.
Nurses. These are male and female nurses. There are male nurses also. Soldiers, just now you said in the socialization, the soldier said this and we agreed to her, whatever. Road worker. These are two women who are working on the road. They're road workers. And we know there are very famous hairstylist, Habib something. So there are men, there are unisex salons that are opening now, where men are doing all kind of beauty work. Recently in some program, the one Bollywood actress said that her makeup artist is a male person who has been with her for 10 years. So he's a beautician in a way. But when we think about it, when we say, the very first thought comes is this, because we have already been brought up, we have brought up with the idea that nurses are going to look like this, soldiers are going to look like this, and beauticians are going to be females. But this is what is changing. This is what is which is right in today's contemporary world. Gender stereotypes, keep in mind that both males and females can exhibit masculine traits and behaviors. And both males and females can also exhibit feminine traits and behaviors. That is when we talked about traits. We said that these characters can be exhibited by both the persons. So Ankur is active, independent. I'm talking about a person, Ankur. Ankur is active, independent, competitive, assertive, and aggressive. Can you please tell me who is Ankur? A male or a female?
Male from the
Male.
name.
Male. Male. Okay. This is Ankur, name changed. You said male, you were not wrong. Reason, most of people might have assumed Ankur is a male. Why? Although Ankur is a name, common name for both males and females, the adjectives which I used, remember when we're talking about traits, we said active, independent, competitive, assertive, and aggressive is generally and commonly associated with men rather than women. Even if we are gender sensitive, still you people said it is a male because हम चाहे ना चाहें ये कैरेक्टर्स हम एसोसिएट करते हैं मेन के साथ. पर क्या अंकुर एक्टिव नहीं हो सकती? क्या वो इंडिपेंडेंट नहीं हो सकती? क्या वो कॉम्पिटिटिव नहीं हो सकती? क्या वो असर्टिव नहीं हो सकती? और क्या वो एग्रेसिव नहीं हो सकती? This girl can be having all these characters in her too. Okay. Is this a girl or a boy?
Ma'am, boy.
Very good. Thank you. Somebody said. Who was this? Your name, please?
Ma'am, Prince Gupta.
Prem Gupta. Nice. Thank you, sir. So you said boy. Prem, you said boy? Hello? Prince Gupta. Prince.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
Prince.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, why do you say that, Prince?
मैम क्योंकि मेरा भी पहले ऐसे ही बाल था मतलब बचपन में तो उसके
Okay.
आधार पे होता है.
Okay, good. Yes, anybody else? Who is this? A girl or a boy? I really don't know. I myself don't know. This is a pic I've taken. But मुझे नहीं पता. लेकिन जब हम पूछते हैं तो जनरली लोग इसको गर्ल कहते हैं. रीजन दैट शी इज हैविंग वो आप रबर बैंड्स देखिए पुन्नी बनाई है और हाथ में एक बच्चा है जिसको मिल्क फीडिंग कर रहे हैं. तो जो सिम्टम्स हैं, जो चीजें नजर आ रही हैं, उससे नजर आता है कि लड़की है. लेकिन वेरी राइटली मेंशन बाय प्रिंस, जब बचपन में लड़कों के बाल का मुंडन नहीं करते हैं कुछ समय तक, कुछ घरों में शायद 3 या 4 साल तक मुंडन नहीं किया जाता है, तो जब बाल बड़े हो जाते हैं तो उनकी भी तो पोनी कर देते हैं. और किसी बच्चे को भी शौक हो सकता है छोटे बेबी को दूध पिलाने का, बॉटल से दूध पिलाने का, तो ये लड़का भी तो हो सकता है. पर जनरली हम इसको जब हम ज्यादातर लोगों से पूछेंगे तो वो कहेंगे ओ ये लड़की है क्योंकि इसने पोनी बना रखी है, क्योंकि ये बच्चे को दूध पिला रही है. तो इसके जो कैरेक्टर्स हैं वो वुमन वाले हैं. Another gender stereotype is the color. How many of you have ever refused to wear a pink color? Any boy who can open up and tell me that do you wear pink color? Or have you refused to take a gift which is in pink color? Yes. Generally, when you go to a shop and when you tell somebody कि हमें किसी बच्चे के लिए गिफ्ट दिखा दीजिए, तो इमीडिएटली पूछते हैं लड़का है कि लड़की है. क्यों पूछते हैं? अरे तुम बच्चे के लिए गिफ्ट दिखाओ बस. पर नहीं, वो पूछते हैं कि लड़का है या लड़की है. तो जब हम पूछते हैं क्यों, क्या फर्क पड़ेगा, तो बोले नहीं ना, लड़की के लिए पिंक दिखाएंगे, लड़के के लिए नीला दिखाएंगे. राइट? हैज एनीबडी कम अक्रॉस दिस? किसी को ऐसा हुआ है?
Yes, ma'am.
You have experienced that?
Yes,
You
ma'am.
buy a thing for your आप अपने भाई भतीजे के लिए, छोटे बेबी के लिए एक लड़का है तो बारबी डॉल का पेंसिल बॉक्स लेकर जाइए, देखिए वो कितना लड़ता है आपसे. ये मैं स्कूल लेकर जाऊंगा, ये बारबी लेकर जाऊंगा मैं, सारे लोग हंसेंगे मेरे पे. Right? Maybe you have also faced in the school when your mother brought a pink colored pencil box for you or different box for you. You refused, nahi? My son refused. It was not a Barbie, but it was a pink color, nice pencil box. और मुझे ऑप्शन नहीं मिला, वही वो उस पीस में एक ही ऐसा था, तो मैं ले आई, इसे रिफ्यूज्ड, मैं नहीं लेके जाऊंगा. It was a thing which was having 7 options in it, तो बहुत अच्छा सा पेंसिल बॉक्स था, वो नहीं लेकर गया कि नहीं लेके जाऊंगा, ये पिंक है. So we have somehow in society even divided colors. Pink, baby yellow, baby blue, baby is going to be girls' color, and boys have to wear purples, mauves, black, grays, right? Then there are certain statements which create gender stereotypes. You might have heard, be a man, आदमी बन आदमी. छोटे से छुटपन से लोगों को ये कहा जाता है कि आदमी बन. डोंट क्राई लाइक अ गर्ल. कोई गिर जाता है लड़का खासतौर पे, तो उसको कहा जाता है क्या लड़की की तरह रो रहा है. डोंट क्राई लाइक अ गर्ल, यानी कि द गर्ल क्राइंग इज द ट्रेट फॉर द गर्ल. बॉयज कैन नॉट क्राई. बट व्हाई कांट बॉयज क्राई? Why can't boys cry? If there is a death in the family, अगर परिवार में एक पिता की डेथ हुई है, बेटी उस पर रो सकती है, लेकिन बेटे को रोक दिया जाता है. Yes? Somebody said something? कोई कुछ कह रहा है? Yes?
I'm sorry. कल के लिए.
Okay. I think somebody's personal chat has opened. Please close the mic. Okay. Don't cry like a girl. लड़के को मना कर दिया जाता है, तो क्या उसको दर्द नहीं है पिता के लिए? Is he not attached to the father? But invariably, the boy. Can the organizers please see somebody's mic is on?
Yes, ma'am, I'm muted already.
Yeah, thank you. So the son is told कि तुम अगर रोगे तो अब तो तुम्हें जिम्मेदारी उठानी है, तुम नहीं रो सकते. But we have seen that if there are certain characters which are biological, तो कुदरत ने वो organs दिए हैं, वो chromosomes दिए हैं, वो चीजें दी हैं उस इंसान को. अगर उसको लड़के की तरह behave करना है या लड़की की तरह behave करना है, तो अगर कुदरत ये चाहती कि सिर्फ लड़कियां रोएंगी, तो लड़कों को टीयर ग्लैंड्स नहीं मिलने चाहिए. बट टीयर ग्लैंड्स तो है ना. अगर वो इस तरह से नहीं रोते, चोट लगती है तो आंसू तो निकलते हैं ना. बहुत सारे लोगों को टीका लगने पे दर्द होता है तो आंसू निकल आते, उसमें लड़के भी हैं. तो टीयर ग्लैंड्स तो हैं. हो सकता है अकेले में रोते हो तो रोते तो हैं, पर उनको ये बचपन से सिखाया जाता है डोंट क्राई लाइक अ गर्ल, मतलब अगर रोगे तो लड़की हो जाओगे. मर्द को दर्द नहीं होता है. आई आस्क माय मेल फ्रेंड्स हियर, when you fall, when you have a kind of a कोई कहीं पे चोट लगती है, एक्सीडेंट होता है, तो दर्द नहीं होती है? खून की जगह पानी निकलता है क्या? Anyone? Prince, can you open? Now that you have made a effort, can you please tell me कि जब चोट लगती है आपको दर्द होता है या नहीं होता है?
Yes, होता है मैम.
होता है. तो ये कहाँ से आ गया कि मर्द को दर्द नहीं होता? ये लड़कों जैसे बाल क्यों कटवाए हैं लड़कियों को कहा जाता है, यानी कि छोटे बाल और एक वो स्पाइक्स वगैरह का जो है वो एक लड़कों की ही बपौती है. लड़के अगर लंबे बाल कर लें लड़के, तो उन्हें बोलते हैं अरे क्या छोरियों जैसे बाल लंबे कर रखे हैं, कटा के आ. इफ यू रिमेम्बर, कुछ लड़कों को स्कूल में शायद सुनने में मिला हो कि जब स्कूल में बाल थोड़े लंबे हो जाते थे तो टीचर्स ये कहते थे कि कल बाल कटा के आइए, छोरियों जैसी जो जुल्फें बढ़ा रखी है ना, वरना हम कल काट देंगे स्कूल में. सुना था कभी किसी ने?
Yes, ma'am. होता था स्कूल में.
Yes.
And ma'am, if the nails are also big, then they were told that we will put on nail paints on their.
Yes, yes. तो कुछ चीजें, ये लड़की क्या है, ये लड़के का है, ये लड़के के बाल स्टाइल होना चाहिए, लड़की का बाल स्टाइल, ये छोरियों के काम ना है. The time a girl says she's driving a car and she wants to learn how to change the tire, she's told ये लड़कियों का काम ना है. मोटरसाइकिल सीखना चाहती है लड़की चलाना, तो उसे कहा जाता है कि नहीं ये छोरियों का काम ना है, मोटरसाइकिल लड़की नहीं चलाती, तुम स्कूटी सीख लो, मोटरसाइकिल नहीं चला सकती हैं. तो these are certain statements which we have grown up hearing from people around us. So how are these gender stereotypes sustained over the over the generations. It is through socialization. Parents, peers, teachers, media, they reinforce these stereotypes. ये statements, तुम लड़की हो ऐसा नहीं कर सकती, लड़के हो के रोता है, लड़की हो तमीज में रहो, कान छिदवा रहा है, लड़की है क्या। तो ऐसी स्टेटमेंट्स हमको बहुत सारे अपने पीयर से, टीचर से, मीडिया से सुनने को मिलती हैं, जिस पर मीम्स भी बनते हैं और चीजें बनती हैं, और ये बार बार पर्कुलेट होता है generation to generation. Then there are films in our society. Sorry to say, Bollywood has such a great influence on us, on our lives. But it is, I think, both way around. They pick up certain facts from the society and they make movies, and we pick up certain things from movies and we enact in our life. Bollywood ke andar, there are some movies which portray women or usually treat the females as physical, frail, mentally weak. वो पेड़ों के आसपास गाने गाने के लिए ही कुछ पिक्चर्स के अंदर वुमन को सिर्फ एक ऑब्जेक्ट की तरह रखा जाता है, एक अट्रैक्शन की तरह रखा जाता है, या एक मूवी को, एक सीरियस मूवी को एक टीआरपी देने के लिए उसमें एक वो डांस, क्या कहते हैं, आइटम नंबर टाइप, वो ऐड कर दिया जाता है. Subject them to indignities on celluloid as experienced in real life. Then there are certain songs, वो आपके फिल्मों में गाने हैं, मुन्नी बदनाम हुई, फेविकोल से चिपकाले or something, गटकले मुर्गी समझ के or something like that. So, such kind of derogatory, such kind of deteriorative statements being told by women, for women, sorry. Then there are comedy shows like Kapil Sharma, very nice show, very good show, entertaining, but invariably they have also got caught many times for deteriorating the image of women, giving certain kind of statements, loose statements, which are derogatory. Advertisements, where women is not required. एक मेल मेंबर, एक मेल अंडरपैंट्स के लिए women का होना उस एडवर्टाइजमेंट में क्यों जरूरी है, कभी समझ में नहीं आता. Then there are certain books. The Kalia of 10 NCERT textbooks, he did a study. It includes Hindi. उन्होंने हिंदी, mathematics, English and environmental studies पर एक survey किया, and they found that there was a glaring absence of gender parity in these books. In terms of proportions, more than half of the illustrations are of men, while only 20.6% show women. तो इवन मेन के आप देखिए, हमने शायद चौथी पांचवी की किताबों में महाराणा प्रताप की कहानी पढ़ी थी, लेकिन अहल्याबाई की कहानी नहीं डाली गई. So women have not been portrayed in books to that extent the way it should have been. Gender stereotypes impact, the kind of impact they will have. They have negative connotations or positive connotations. The notion that woman is a better caregiver than man is a positive connotation, but it is generalized. It is a generalization and not necessarily true. जब हम कहते हैं कि औरतें बच्चों का ज्यादा अच्छे से ख्याल कर सकती हैं, ये एक स्टीरियोटाइप है जो जनरलाइज किया जाए तो ये गलत है. There are parents, there are fathers who are taking good care of the child. So ये statement men के against जा रही है. So it is having negative connotation for men and positive connotation for women. Gender stereotype impact करते हैं, जैसे हम कहते हैं लड़की पढ़ के क्या करेगी, नौकरी थोड़ी करानी है. So many households will refrain the women from working. They will from studying. लड़कियों को पढ़ाने इसलिए नहीं दिया जाता है क्योंकि उन्हें नौकरी नहीं करानी है. So these can have impact on their education. These can have impact on their independence. So these stereotypes do impact negatively and positively. Therefore, gender roles and inequalities are very contextual and rooted in cultural and social practices. Imperative is the need to coexist from a young age, that is through education itself. If boys are taught to understand how an egalitarian society is beneficial for all, only then will the opposite gender learn to treat women as equal. बचपन से we have to start from home itself. घर के अंदर जब पिताजी बाहर से आते हैं तो पानी का ग्लास देने के लिए किसको कहा जाता है? Generally, I'm not talking of the एक्सेप्शंस। जनरली घर में पिताजी बाहर से आते हैं तो पानी के लिए किसको कहा जाता है?
तो गर्ली था।
बेटी को कहा जाता है, बेटी बेटी जा जरा पापा को पानी पिला। व्हाई नॉट द बॉय हु इज प्लेइंग ऑन द वीडियो गेम? उसको क्यों नहीं कहा जाता?
आदत से मजबूर।
नहीं, आदत से मजबूर नहीं है, स्टीरियोटाइप है कि लड़का जो है वो ये काम नहीं करेगा, ये घर वाले काम है और ये लड़की को करने हैं। लेकिन ये सेंसिटिविटी हर माँ को अपने घर में अपने बच्चों से स्टार्ट करनी है, हर फादर को अपने बच्चों से स्टार्ट करनी है, तभी हम बाहर इसको ले जा पाएंगे। आई एम ग्लैड टू सी कि इन दिस ग्रुप देयर आर सर्टेन गर्ल्स हु हैव ऑलरेडी जेंडर सेंसिटाइज। लड़के बोले नहीं इसलिए उसके बारे में मैं कुछ कह नहीं सकती, लेकिन जिन्होंने बात की उनमें से मुझे अच्छा लगा ये जानकर कि लड़कियां जेंडर सेंसिटिव हैं काफी हद तक, और दे विल व्हेन टुमारो व्हेन दे बिकम द caretakers, when they become the mothers, they will be percolating that in their family. They will be carrying that kind of gender sensitivity in their family. They will be looking for that. So one has to learn. और ये जब सेंसिटिविटी घर से आएगी, जब घर में माँ बाप बच्चों को ये सिखाएंगे कि जो हमारे घर में जो बेटी है वो क्या पहन रही है वो तुम्हारा कंसर्न नहीं है, वो उसकी इंडिपेंडेंस है। और लड़के बच्चों को जब घर पे माँ बाप सिखाएंगे कि बेटा जब तू बाहर जाता है तो बाहर कोई लड़की क्या पहन के चल रही है वो तेरा कंसर्न नहीं है, कि उसकी शॉर्ट स्कर्ट है तो तू सीटी मारेगा, या तो उसको कोई फपकी कस देगा, या तो उसको कोई कमेंट कर देगा, या सो मच सो कि तेरा हक है कि तू जाके उसको रेप कर देगा। दैट इज व्हाट वी हैव टू टीच इन द फ्रॉम अ वेरी अर्ली चाइल्डहुड, दैट बॉयज शुड बी सेंसिटिव, गर्ल्स शुड बी सेंसिटिव टुवर्ड्स ईच अदर्स जेंडर। व्हेन यू डू कमेंट, even the girls do a comment on the boy who's a thin, अरे ये तो लकड़ी है, तो भी गलत है, ये तो ढीला है। Sorry to say, this is the word I hear from this younger generation today. If a boy is gentle, if a boy is nice, so people start calling him, अरे ये तो ढीला है। Why? उसको बदतमीज होना ही ठीक है, उसको एग्रेशन दिखाना ही ठीक है? क्यों नहीं कोई लड़का प्यार से, आराम से, इज्जत से आपसे बात कर सकता? क्यों उसकी मैचोइज्म के साथ जोड़ रखा है हमने बदतमीजी को, एग्रेशन को और मैस्कुलिनिटी को? तो ये बहुत बचपन से बताने की, जताने की, सिखाने की जरूरत है, और खास तौर पे एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशंस के अंदर। Therefore, educational institutions can play a critical part in making the society safer for women, and that can happen by ensuring gender sensitization a part of school or university curriculum. How to make other gender sensitive? This can be achieved by conducting various, जो हम ये कर रहे हैं, वेबिनार हैं, सेंसिटाइजेशन कैंपेन्स हैं, ट्रेनिंग्स हैं, वर्कशॉप्स हैं। तो ये सब करके हर एक को अवेयर करने की जरूरत है कि कैसे कोई दूसरे की तरह जेंडर सेंसिटिव हो सकता है। डू यू एवर टॉक, डिस्कस और कंटेम्पलेट अबाउट हु क्राइज, कौन रोता है? एक जनरल स्टेटमेंट है, लड़कियां रोती हैं, पर कभी ध्यान से देखने की और जानने की कोशिश की है, अपने मेल फ्रेंड से जानने की कोशिश की है कि तुम कभी रोए हो, चाहे अंदर ही रोए हो? Invariably when I take this session and when people are more responsive, even boys agree कि नहीं मैम हम रोए हैं, हम पब्लिक में भी रोए हैं, कोई इशू नहीं है, हमें जब दुख हुआ हम रो पड़े। So do we contemplate, do we discuss this? Who cooks food? कौन करता है कुक फूड? हमारे पास जनरल, हमें तो आइडिया है कुक कौन करता है, मम्मी खाना बनाती है, पर क्या हमने कभी इस पर डिस्कशन किया है कि मम्मी ही क्यों बनाती है, पापा क्यों नहीं बनाते? पापा भी तो घर पे है, मम्मी भी ऑफिस से 7 बजे आई, पापा भी 7 बजे आए, मम्मी ने फटाफट अपनी सूट की चुन्नी उतारी और जल्दी से किचन में चली गई, दाल चढ़ा दी, पापा ने क्यों नहीं चढ़ाई? क्यों नहीं सोचते, क्यों नहीं बात करते? नहीं करते। Who looks after children and elderly? अंडरस्टूड है कि बच्चों को मम्मी ने देखना है, जो बुजुर्ग है घर में उनको मम्मी ने टेक केयर करना है, औरत ने करना है। क्यों? Why don't we talk about it? Why only mother? Why only woman? Who is allowed to come late at night? अंडरस्टूड फैक्ट कि घर का लड़का जो है वो आ सकता है, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, लेट में पापा आ सकते हैं, लड़का आ सकता है, लड़की नहीं आ सकती, मम्मी नहीं आ सकती, वुमन नहीं आ सकती। क्यों नहीं आ सकती? Who is physically stronger? Sometimes even the man cannot be physically stronger. जरूरी नहीं है हर आदमी खली हो। There can be men who are weak, there can be boys who are a little weak physically, but हम लोग कहते हैं नहीं जी, फिजिकली तो स्ट्रांग है तो लड़का ही स्ट्रांग है, लड़की नहीं हो सकती। इमोशनली स्ट्रांगर कौन है? बहुत बार ये देखा गया है। I remember my father was emotionally very weak. अगर हम लोग को कोई चोट लग जाती थी, हम में से कोई बीमार हो जाता था, तो he used to get so upset मतलब उनके रिएक्शंस अजीब से ही शुरू हो जाते थे, गुस्सा चढ़ रहा है, ये कर रहा है, मतलब तुम बीमार पड़ क्यों गए? वो डर लगने लग जाता था उनको कि इसको अब कुछ हो जाएगा, आई विल लूज माई चाइल्ड, आई विल लूज माई फैमिली मेंबर। और मदर कहती थी क्या हो गया, बुखार ही है। Once I had an accident, he refused to come to the hospital to see me because he was told that I'm bleeding. He said, नहीं, मैं देख ही नहीं सकता. My mother came into the surgery room where my stitches were put and done. She was more stronger emotionally. So what's wrong in that? Do we talk? Who's emotionally stronger? Who earns money? कौन कमा रहा है? जनरली फादर ही कमा रहा है, लेकिन जिस घर में फादर नहीं कमाता है, एक वो आपका सीरियल आता है भाभी जी घर पे हैं, वो एक आदमी को कहा जाता है नल्ला, ये नल्ला है, काम नहीं करता है, बट उसके अलावा भी तो बहुत कुछ करता है वो इंसान। घर के अंदर एक किसी की जरूरी नहीं है आदमी कमा के लाए। जब आप 500 का नोट लेकर दुकान पे जाते हैं, दुकानदार ये पूछता है कि ये तुम्हारी मम्मी लेकर आई है या तुम्हारे फादर लेकर आए हैं घर में? उसको कोई मतलब नहीं है कि वो आपके फादर लाए है, मदर लाई है, आदमी लाया कि औरत लाई है। उसको तो 500 का नोट मिल रहा है, उसको 500 का सामान देना है। पर ये हमारे समाज की कुरीतियां हैं कि जिसमें वो ये कहते हैं कि अगर लड़का नहीं कमा रहा है तो गलत है और लड़की कमा रही है तो ये नहीं होना चाहिए। It should be left on the family, it should be left on the boy and the girl and the man. Yes, Amit? Amit, can you mute yourself, please? Never brush these issues under the carpet. मतलब इसको हम इग्नोर ना करें, इस पे डिस्कस करें, इसको देखें, इसको आसपास महसूस करें कि ये क्यों है, ये पट्टी चीज क्यों है। Gender sensitization refers to the modification of behavior by raising awareness. Sonam, please mute yourself. Miss Sonam Chadda. Okay. So gender sensitization refers to the modification of behavior by raising awareness of gender and equality concerns. We need to make people gender sensitized so that they are get aware about the gender and equality concerns, they think about it. Closely related to gender sensitization is gender equality. You see this picture, cycle? Can anybody make an interpretation for me? Why do I show this bigger cycle? Quickly. Cycle से मैं क्या कहना चाह रही हूँ?
Because both tires, they move simultaneously. When one of them stop, the cycle won't move.
Very good. What else? अगर इसका पहिए दोनों का एक पहिया छोटा होगा तो ये साइकिल नहीं चलेगी। हाँ, हमने पुराने टाइम में वो देखी थी, साइकिल जब शुरू हुई थी तो एक पहिया पीछे छोटा होता था और ऊपर बहुत बड़ा पहिया था। पर अब आज की दुनिया के अंदर जो हमारी साइकिल्स हैं वो इक्वल टायर्स वाली हैं। सो मच सो कि अगर एक के अंदर हवा ज्यादा है और एक के अंदर हवा कम है तो भी साइकिल नहीं चलेगी। सो टू मेंटेन अ बैलेंस, साइकिल इज अ वेरी गुड एग्जांपल दैट if we have to run this society, it has to be an equal balance between men and a woman. Gender equality does not imply that women and men are the same. जब हम gender equality कहते हैं इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि आदमी और औरत बराबर हैं या सेम है, वो सेम नहीं है, लेकिन it means that they have equal value and should be accorded equal treatment. उनकी वैल्यू सेम है और उनको ट्रीटमेंट इक्वल करना चाहिए. It means that women and men have equal conditions for realizing their full human rights and potentials. Working towards gender equality does not necessarily imply treating women and men in the same way. उन दोनों को, हमें दोनों को एक जैसा ट्रीट करना जरूरी नहीं है. Equality is not equal to equity. Equality versus equity. One has to understand there is a difference between equality and equity. You see the figure, you see the picture? For the fair selection, everybody has to take the same exam. Please climb the tree. तो इक्वालिटी तो ये कहती है कि सबको एक जैसा एग्जाम देना चाहिए, एग्जाम पेपर, एग्जामिनेशन पेपर सेम होना चाहिए, बिल्कुल ठीक है, इक्वालिटी है। लेकिन क्या ये इक्वालिटी सही है? क्या हाथी चढ़ सकता है पेड़ पर? क्या पेंगुइन चढ़ सकती है? क्या बकरा चढ़ पाएगा? तो टेस्ट जो है वो गलत है। अगर हमें सच में उनकी कैपेबिलिटीज देखनी है तो हमें उनके अकॉर्डिंगली उनको एग्जाम देने की जरूरत है। इक्वालिटी इज अ प्रोसेस ऑफ ट्रीटिंग एवरीवन द सेम irrespective of any criteria, whereas equity is the process of treating people based on existing social differences. To reach to equality, for example, class, race, gender, कोई भी वेरिएशन जो है उसको ध्यान में रखते हुए जब हम उनके साथ उनको ट्रीट करते हैं ताकि वो इक्वालिटी तक पहुंच सके. Equity is the process and equality is the end. You look at this figure, you can see that there are 3 boxes available given to 3 people. Equality says, okay, fine. We have given 3. There are 3 children wanting to see match over the fence. तो सबको इक्वल हमने एक एक डब्बा दे दिया, लेकिन जो बहुत लंबा वाला है उसको डब्बे की तो जरूरत ही नहीं है, बिना डब्बे के देख पा रहा था. जस्टिस या इक्विटी ये कहता है कि जिसके पास जो चीज नहीं है उस इन तीनों को इक्वल करने के लिए हमें जो लंबा बच्चा है उससे डब्बा लेकर सबसे छोटे वाले को देना है. When you do that, that is when equality comes. That is when the 3 of them will be able to watch the match over the fence. There are approaches to equality. एक formal model है equality का, which views women and men are the same, so treat them the same way. So it is a formal model कि equality है मतलब आदमी औरत को बराबर treat करो. So the goal is to achieve equal treatment देना है. आप लोग को याद होगा पंचतंत्र में एक सारस और लोमड़ की कहानी कभी पढ़ी थी. आई होप आपने पढ़ी हो, नहीं पढ़ी है तो अभी जाके पढ़िएगा. उसमें लोमड़ और सारस में खूब लड़ाई थी, तो वो एक दूसरे को नीचा दिखाना चाहते थे. तो लोमड़ी एक बार सारस को अपने घर बुलाती है और उसको एक तश्तरी में खाना परोस देती, जो ये दिखा रहे हैं आपको. खुद तो वो स्लप स्लप करके जीभ के साथ चाट कर खा लेती है, लेकिन सारस जो है भूखा रह जाता है क्योंकि चोंच की वजह से उसको पी नहीं सकता, खा नहीं सकता. So that is unequal thing that is done, and that is the same way. जो लोमड़ है वो भी सारस भी करता है, उसको खाने पे बुलाता है और एक सुराही में डालकर उसको खाना दे देता है जो लोमड़ नहीं खा पाता. तो उनके घर के पास एक बंदर था जो ये देख रहा था कि इन दोनों में ये प्रॉब्लम हो रही है. तो वो कहता है अगर तुम्हारी लड़ाई खत्म करनी है तो मैं खत्म करता हूँ. वो कहता है ठीक है तुम मेरे घर खाने पे आओ. तो वो अपने घर खाने पे जब उन्हें बुलाता है तो लोमड़ी को एक तश्तरी में और सारस को एक सुराही में खाना डाल के देता है. दोनों खुशी खुशी उसको खा लेते हैं और लोमड़ी उनकी दोस्ती बंदर उनकी दोस्ती करा देता है. तो वहां पे जो चीज है वो है कि इक्विटी का ध्यान रखना कि कौन किसके लिए क्या चीज जरूरी है. इक्वालिटी में तो हम इक्वल ट्रीटमेंट कर रहे हैं तो बिल्कुल ठीक है, तश्तरी में सबको सर्व कर दिया. कोई खा पाया नहीं खा पाया ये उससे सर्व करने वाले में कोई उसको कोई कंसर्न नहीं. The other approach to equality is perfectionist model of equality, which says that women and men are different, so should be treated differently. क्योंकि वो दोनों different हैं, हम कह रहे हैं उनको differently treat करना चाहिए. Women are very precious, they are vulnerable, they be protected, they should be put in a kind of a, so you put them in a cage to protect women being vulnerable. ये भी गलत है. आप उनको एक केज में, आप उनके लिए जेंडर सेंसिटिव प्रोग्राम्स रन कर देते हैं, उनको वुमेन रिलेटेड कुछ प्रोग्राम्स रिलीज कर देते हैं जो सिर्फ वुमेन के लिए हैं. तो आप तो उन्हें एक्सक्लूड कर रहे हैं नॉर्मल मेन स्ट्रीमिंग से, उनके लिए स्पेशल चीजें बना रहे हैं. Corrective model of equality is that there are differences in how women and men experience life, and we should minimize negative effects of that. Promote equality of outcomes, that is equity. You can see in the picture, the swan is the सारस को जो है वो सुराही मिली है, लोमड़ी को जो है वो एक तश्तरी मिली है, और जो बंदर है उसको हाथ एक कटोरी मिली है जो वो उठा कर खा पा रहा है. तो अगर हम इन डिफरेंसेस को दूर करना चाहते हैं तो जो जिसकी जरूरत है उसके अकॉर्डिंगली उसको चीजें प्रोवाइड करेंगे तो इक्वालिटी आ पाएगी. सो वी नीड टू गिव वुमेन व्हाट दे रिक्वायर. दे नीड अपॉर्चुनिटीज, they need education, opportunities for education, opportunity for job. वो देने से ऑटोमेटिकली वुमन जो है वो मेन की इक्वालिटी में आ जाएगी. वी डोंट नीड टू गिव देम स्पेशल ट्रीटमेंट, स्पेशल प्रोग्राम्स. सो वंस यू गिव देम अपॉर्चुनिटीज इन अ वे where they will get, then they can reach the equality. So what should one do? We should respect each gender. Men and women are equal. We should look at each other with equality and not with the feeling of superiority or inferiority. We have to understand the differences between the sexes and break gender stereotypes. And we have to treat each other with respect and as human beings. So even if a person is working at home, or he is a new term that is coming now is house husband. अभी वो आपकी एक और बॉलीवुड का एग्जांपल दे सकती हूँ मैं जो पॉजिटिव है, वो है का एंड की मूवी जो आई थी. I think Arjun Kapoor and Katrina Kaif. It was a reflection of house husband that was shown there. And sorry to say, in Indian society, it was rejected. It was not taken very positively, because according to the patriarchal system that we have, people are yet not ready for this kind of thing, which we need to develop, which we need to have. So this is a picture of Ardhanarishwar, which indicates that even nature, even mythology says that this is the Shiva and Shakti. कि वो भी चाहते हैं कि समाज के अंदर एक बैलेंस हो, women and men का. So that is why they also depict that nature, कुदरत जो है वो आधी आधी है. Ardhanarishwar. That is why the women are called Ardhangini. So once we want women to be there, there has to be gender mainstreaming. They have to be not given exclusive certain things. They have to be in the mainstream of whatever policies, whatever programs that we are having. So the concept of gender mainstreaming was introduced in 1985, and it was further developed in 1995 in the UN 4th World Conference. And it says that gender mainstreaming is a strategy to ensure women's and men's concerns and experiences are included in the design, implementation, and evaluation of policies and programs with the goal of achieving gender equality. So if we want to bring gender equality, then it should be ingrained in the design, implementation, and evaluation of policies. So women should be involved in the consultations. We should strive for the balance in the staff and expert committees that are being formed, enabling women and men to participate equally and benefit equally. And another thing which is very closely attached is gender budgeting, because we all know no policy is possible to run without the budgeting. So gender perspective has to be added to all the budgets. It is not that in the budget you keep a kind of a budget, specific budget for women. No. Every budget that you make, even if it is at the ministerial level, or it is at the department level, or is it at any other level, now most of the ministries are asking the division of budget according to the gender perspective. You have to give how much are you using on women, how much are you using on others. So it has to be inbuilt in the budget that is being created by any ministry or any organization. So just to make understand, there is a very sweet poem which I would like to share with you, which depicts how women and men are actually feel about it. For Every Woman by Nancy R. Smith. For every woman who is tired of acting weak when she knows she is strong, there is a man who is tired of appearing strong when he feels vulnerable. So the kind of expectation we have कि women तो weak है, ये तो कुछ नहीं कर सकती हैं, जबकि वो अंदर से strong है, वो थक गई है अपने आप को कमजोर दिखा के, जबकि वो व्यक्ति जो घर में अपने आप को strong दिखा रहा है, पिता है, bread earner है, head of household है, he is internally somewhere vulnerable. He would like to take a back seat and would like somebody else to take the front seat. There is a woman who would like to take a front seat, which is not allowed. For every woman who is tired of acting dumb, there is a man who is burdened with the constant expectation of knowing all. अच्छा ये नहीं आता है, जाओ पापा से पूछो, पापा को बताओ, जाओ उनसे पूछो, जाओ भाई को पूछो, जाओ इसको पूछो, because are they computers? They are supposed to know all. There's a woman who knows everything, but she's not allowed to think, नहीं तुम्हें क्या मालूम? She is tired of acting dumb कि मुझे कुछ नहीं आता है. अरे बहुत कुछ आता है, लेकिन उसको मौका नहीं दिया जाता है. और आदमी जिससे पूछा जाता है, हो सकता है उसके पास इंफॉर्मेशन ही ना हो. For every woman who is tired of being called an emotional female, there is a man who is denied the right to weep and be gentle. So woman who doesn't want to cry, who is not emotional, she's forced to be emotional. Once I remember, I will share an example. In my family, there was a death. My mama ji expired. तो उनकी बहू जो है वो रोई नहीं. She was doing all kind of work. घर का सब काम कर रही थी, सबको अटेंड कर रही थी, सब कुछ कर रही थी, पर उन्होंने आंखों से नहीं रोई, वो आंसू से नहीं रोई, नहीं आया आंसू, इमोशनल नहीं थी उस तरीके से, वो तो दिखाने वाला इमोशन नहीं था. Obviously, she was upset about it. Everybody in the family started saying, हाँ बहू है ना इसलिए नहीं रोई, इसको दुखी नहीं है ससुर के डेथ का. And when we talked, she said कि हमने जब उनसे बात की कि लोग ये क्या कहते हैं, तो शी आई डोंट माइंड बिकॉज प्रॉब्लम इज आई कांट एक्सप्रेस, मेरी एक्सप्रेशन नहीं है। और उसी तरफ कोई आदमी है जो रोना चाहता है, जेंटल होना चाहता है, हम उसे एक्सपेक्ट करते हैं, हो ये रो रहा है, लड़का है, लड़का होके रो रहा है। सो for every woman who feels tied down by her children, there is a man who is denied the full pleasure of parenthood. A woman who's been stopped from going to a job or office or pursue her career or whatever because she's to take care of her children. She's supposed to take care of the children, look at their first steps, look at their first sardi, first garmi. There is a man who's been denied the full pleasure of parenthood. There was a policeman, उसके घर बेबी हुआ 6 महीने पहले, तो उसके दोस्त ने 6 महीने बाद उससे पूछा कि तुम्हारा बच्चा कितना बड़ा हो गया? तो बोला इतना बड़ा। कैन यू सी माई हैंड्स? इतना बड़ा। तो कहता है ऐसे कैसे बड़ा होता है? बच्चा तो ऐसे बड़ा होता है ना। ही सेड भाई मैं रात को जब जाता हूँ वो सो रहा होता है, जब मैं वापस आता हूँ सुबह मॉर्निंग में तो वो सो रहा होता है, तो मैं तो उसे यूं ही बढ़ता हुआ देख रहा हूँ। So he is denied of the pleasure of the parenthood because of his responsibilities. For every woman who is denied meaningful employment and equal pay, there is a man who must bear the full financial responsibility for another human beings. There is a man, आप में से भी कुछ फाइनल ईयर में होंगे जिनको ये है कि जल्दी नौकरी मिल जाए क्योंकि हमें जिम्मेदारियां उठानी है घर की, हमें कल को शादी करनी है, बच्चों का ख्याल रखना है, बीवी को ख्याल रखना है, और उसी तरफ जो औरत है उसको मीनिंगफुल एम्प्लॉयमेंट और इक्वल पे नहीं दी जाती. शी इज डिनाइड द राइट फॉर इक्वल पे और equal employment. For every woman who is not taught the intricacies of automobile, there is a man who is not taught the satisfaction of cooking. So हर लेडी जो चाहती है कि मैं गाड़ी चला रही हूँ तो भैया मुझे ये भी तो बता दो इंजन ऑयल कब चेंज करना है, मुझे कब इसके अंदर कूलेंट डालना है, या जब टायर कभी पंचर हो जाए तो मैं इसको कैसे ठीक करूं, तो डिनाई कर दे, नहीं 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 तुम गाड़ी ले आओ, तुम फोन कर दो हम आ जाएंगे, भैया आ जाएगा, पापा आ जाएंगे, वो कर देंगे. हस्बैंड कहते हैं मैं मैकेनिक भेज दूंगा, तुम परेशान हो तो गाड़ी को चाबी लगाओ और घर आ जाओ. और वहीं पे लड़के हैं या वो आदमी है जो कभी किचन में जाता ही है तो कहते हैं तुम क्यों किचन में आ गए, चलो क्या चाहिए तुमको, मैं कुछ बना मैं कुछ कुक करना चाहता हूँ, नहीं नहीं ये तुम्हारा काम नहीं है, चलो चलो अंदर चलो, तुम्हें जो चाहिए वही मिल जाएगा. So they have been denied these kind of rights. For every woman who takes a step towards her own liberation, there is a man who finds that the way to freedom has been made a little easier. औरत को अपना कदम उठाने के लिए बहुत जद्दोजहद करनी पड़ती है. पढ़ने के लिए लड़कियों को लड़ाई लड़नी पड़ती है. हम पढ़ना चाहते हैं, हम अब नौकरी करना चाहते हैं, हम अब ये करना चाहते हैं. वही आदमी के लिए अच्छा तुम ये करना चाहते हो, ठीक है कर लो, अरे तुम जाते क्यों नहीं, तुम ये कर लो ना, तुम ये भी कर लो, तुम ये भी कर लो, तुम ये भी कर लो. उसके लिए रास्ता जो है वो बहुत आसान और इजी कर दिया गया है. So this shall be all from my side, but I would like one or two people to open up and just give me back what is the takeaway from this session. If I've been able to give some kind of gender sensitivity, तो मैं जानना चाहूंगी कि कोई चीज नई जो आपको इस सेशन में मिली, या what is going to be the takeaway from this session. Anybody who can unmute, and one or two people who can unmute and let me know. Or it is open for the question and answer. Anybody would like to ask anything? Over to you, Kavita. Are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your enlightening us with your kind words and giving us a brief about the gender sensitizations. We should not treat anyone superior and the inferior. Everyone is equal. And thanks, ma'am, for your explaining us about the sociological and the biological difference, equality and equity, meaningful employment with the equal pay to the women and the men. And thanks, ma'am, for giving us a realistic example for the today's scenario. This is open for all. Anyone wants to ask anything can ask.
Any question, any observation, any experience sharing?
Good afternoon, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Chavi.
Yes, ma'am. So I have this question that I know that gender bias is wrong, and but how would I convince my parents to believe that? Because I try to explain them that to not discriminate against me or my brothers, but they do not understand it. So is there any way, a polite way to make them understand this?
Yes, Chavi, that is why we are doing it with the younger minds, because obviously your parents are the part of the society, and the stereotypes that they have seen over the years, their socialization has been like what they think about. But yes, you're very right. Gently talking to them, putting a sense of logic by proving yourself when you do certain things right. For example, I don't know what is the issue, where the difference comes. बट अगर मैं एक इमेजिन करके देखूं कि अगर मान लीजिए कोई कोर्स करना चाहती हैं और वो नहीं अलाउ करते, तो किसी तरीके से उन्हें एग्जाम्पल्स देकर या उनसे बात करके उन्हें समझाया जा सके, और जब वो आप कोर्स करें तो उसमें इतना अच्छा करें कि उन्हें यकीन हो जाए कि जो मेरी बेटी ने कहा था वो सही कहा था, एंड दिस इज समथिंग व्हिच शी हैज बीन एबल टू प्रूव हरसेल्फ. सो वी कैन प्रूव आवरसेल्फ, वी हैव टू प्रूव आवरसेल्फ फॉर देम टू अंडरस्टैंड सर्टेन थिंग्स. और yes, it's a very very difficult task. I agree कि older generation को gender sensitize करना, या लड़कों patriarchal system जो हमारे यहाँ इतना ज्यादा prevail करता है, इसमें बहुत मुश्किल आती है. पर कोशिश करनी चाहिए और कोशिश ही करते रहनी चाहिए, क्योंकि that is the only way one can do. Or what you can do is you can make them meet somebody who, क्योंकि अपने बच्चे की कई बात ऐसे लगता है इसको आता ही क्या है, ये तो बच्ची है, ये तो बोल रही है, लेकिन कई बार वो बात दूसरों से समझ में आती है, या दूसरों के कहने पर एक आदमी दो बार सोच पाता है. तो यू कैन मेक देम एंड मीट सम ऑफ द somebody who's a counselor or somebody in your college, or who can talk about it, gender sensitize them about certain things.
Yes, ma'am. And ma'am, I would like to agree with you and also add one thing.
Yes, please.
Yes, ma'am, that girls can also take initiative to cancel this gender bias by taking care of their own parents. Like, the whole responsibility should not be on their brothers or their sons, and they should themselves put forward to take responsibility of your parents even after marriage. So
yes, Ravi, very right. बल्कि इसके लिए तो एक लॉ भी आया है ना, मेंटेनेंस ऑफ सीनियर सिटीजंस एंड वेलफेयर एंड एक्ट जो है, वो that welfare act itself says that it is an equal responsibility of the boy and the girl to take care of the parents. तो लीगली भी लड़की की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है अब अपने माँ बाप का केयर करना.
यस मैम.
जी, तो लॉ भी आपको उस लड़की को सपोर्ट करता है, कल को वो अपने पेरेंट्स को सपोर्ट करना चाहती हैं, उनकी केयर करना चाहती हैं, तो लॉ इज ऑल्सो देयर टू सपोर्ट द पर्सन.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
अगर मुझे लगता है कि अगर ये एटीट्यूडनल चेंज हो जाए, ये समाज में सब ये समझ पाए कि अगर लड़के के पेरेंट्स बुजुर्ग हो रहे हैं, उनको मदद की, उनको केयर की जरूरत है, तो उसी तरह अगर लड़की इकलौती बेटी है या इकलौती नहीं भी है, उसका भाई भी है, तो उसका भी मन हो सकता है, उसका भी दिल हो सकता है अपने माँ बाप की केयर करने का, तो शी शुड नॉट बी स्टॉप फ्रॉम दैट.
जी मैम, बिल्कुल, कि मतलब दोनों को ही केयर करना, यही सिखाना चाहिए.
यस, बिल्कुल. और हमने कई फैमिलीज में देखा है, इवन इन माय ओन फैमिली देयर वाज अ टाइम व्हेन माय इन-लॉज एंड माय पेरेंट्स वर इन माय हाउस. वो मेरे साथ थे, दोनों चारों के चारों. एंड आई हैव सीन मेनी फैमिलीज वेयर साउथ में, खास तौर पे अब बंगाली फैमिलीज में हमने देखा है कि जहाँ लड़कियां पेरेंट्स जो हैं अपनी लड़कियों के घर उनके साथ जाके उनके लॉस के साथ रहने में, क्योंकि हमारे यहाँ पैट्रियार्की में एक और प्रॉब्लम है छवि, कि पेरेंट्स ही नहीं जाना चाहते. पेरेंट्स मना कर देते हैं कि नहीं, बेटी के घर नहीं जाएंगे, बाकी वी कैन गो टू बॉयज हाउस. लड़का अगर परेशानी में भी रखेगा, जैसे भी रखेगा, पेरेंट्स वहां जाके राजी हैं. लेकिन जहां वो कहते हैं कि बेटी ध्यान रखना चाहती है, तो पेरेंट्स ड्यू टू आवर पैट्रियार्कल सिस्टम दे रिफ्यूज कि बेटी के घर नहीं जाएंगे. जो चेंज करना बहुत जरूरी है,
Yes, ma'am, very true.
Yes. Anybody else?
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Priyanshi.
Ma'am, I just want to like to include some of the instances जो हमारी physiotherapy की field में होते हैं, that
जी
many patients would like to get treated by a male therapist. They have this scenario in the mind that they have more strength, they are more powerful. So how you can deal with these situations? Because they have this thought कि हाँ ये male है, he will be more powerful, he has more strength. So
बट फिजियोथेरेपी में पावर की जरूरत कहाँ पड़ती है? इज इट रियली रिक्वायर्ड? आई थिंक यू हैव इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स, यू हैव certain kind of activities which I was having issues with my cervical. I was having issues with some one time I was having some sensitivity issue in my foot, but I was being treated by a women and very perfectly. बहुत ही अच्छा. हमारे अपने जामिया में फिजियोथेरेपी का डिपार्टमेंट है जहाँ पे गर्ल्स, फ्रैंकली गर्ल्स ज्यादा ही हैं बल्कि मुझे लगता है. और ऐसा ऐसा कोई देखिए कुछ जो बायसेस हैं कुछ लोगों के, जहां वो कहते हैं कि नहीं हम आदमियों से ही ट्रीट होना चाहेंगे, उनको आप बदल तो नहीं सकते, लेकिन कोशिश ये कर सकते हैं कि उन्हें आप कहें कि एक बार आप हमसे ट्रीट होके देखिए, या जो भी उन्हें अलॉट कर रहा है आप उनको कहा जा सकता है कि शी इज वन ऑफ द गुड फिजियोथेरेपिस्ट, आप एक बार उनके साथ करके देखिए. अगर आपको नहीं सेटिस्फैक्शन होती है तो हम आपके लिए फिर से कोई कोशिश करेंगे. तो एक बार उन्हें एक्सपोजर मिलना बहुत जरूरी है ताकि वो रियलाइज कर सकें कि वुमेन फिजियोथेरेपिस्ट आर नो लेस देन मेन फिजियोथेरेपिस्ट. वो एक्सपीरियंस के साथ ही हो पाएगा प्रियांशी, माइंड से नहीं हो पाएगा. उनको एक्सपोजर देना पड़ेगा, उनको ट्रीट करना पड़ेगा, खुशी से हो या थोड़ा फोर्स करके करना पड़ेगा कि नहीं वो मेल डॉक्टर अवेलेबल ही नहीं है आज, आपको करना पड़ेगा इनके साथ. तो जब वो एक्सपीरियंस करेंगे और आपकी एफिशिएंसी को देखेंगे तो मुझे लगता है अगली बार वो कहेंगे नहीं हमें उन्हीं वुमेन फिजियोथेरेपिस्ट से ट्रीट होना है.
Yes, ma'am. Somewhere in the home visits also, some think that ki home visit hai, so it is more suitable for the male to get treated. So that's what the issue is going on. But it will get better with the exposure. Very right. क्योंकि जब तक exposure नहीं होगा, तब तक they will not be able to see the results.
Yes, very right. Because obviously that really again what I would like to say is it will depend upon how you prove yourself. Okay, Ridhima says, ma'am, as you said, you should prove your parents. So, ma'am, in that case, time flies, and why? 1 minute, let me read. Why always a girl or a woman has to prove anything? Yes, it is not very, but देखिए कुछ चीजें ऑलरेडी एस्टैब्लिश्ड हैं सोसाइटी में, जैसे मैंने कहा स्टीरियोटाइप्स हैं, लेकिन किसी चीज को बदलने के लिए हमें उसको एक बार तो दिखाना पड़ेगा. लेट अस नॉट टेक इट कि हमें अपने आप को प्रूव करना है, हमें उन्हें बताना है कि आपकी सोच गलत है. वी आर नॉट प्रूविंग आवरसेल्फ, वी आर प्रूविंग देम दैट दे आर रॉन्ग. And for proving them that they are wrong, they have to experience that what they are thinking is wrong. और उसके लिए हम उसको करके ही दिखा पाएंगे. Is it okay, Ridhima?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Anybody else?
Ma'am, I have one question.
Yes, Kavita.
Ma'am, nowadays we all know females, they are more career oriented, they are more into the job, they are looking after their homes as well. But still in some of the places, their family members, they have mindsets that if she is going out for work, then also she have to, equally active in the household chores. They are not thinking she may get, physically exhausted or mentally exhausted. They are not ready to understand the thing. And what, according to you, can be best solution for this?
Very right, Kavita. बहुत चेंजेस तो आ रहे हैं, लेकिन अभी उसमें मतलब स्लो है, ग्रोथ स्लो है. देखिए आजकल की जो यंगर जनरेशन है, खासतौर पे हम लोग देख रहे हैं जो मल्टीनेशनल कंपनीज में या जो यंगस्टर्स अब अपना फैमिली स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं, उसमें ये चेंजेस देखे जा रहे हैं कि द बॉय इज रियलाइजिंग दैट माय वाइफ इज वर्किंग, वी बोथ आर वर्किंग. हम अपने आसपास, अपनी फैमिली के आसपास, मैं अपने फ्रेंड्स एंड फैमिली सर्कल्स में देख रही हूँ जो यंगस्टर्स हैं, उसमें लड़के खाना भी बना रहे हैं. क्योंकि कोविड के टाइम पे लोगों को ये समझ में आ सका है, सब देख पाए हैं कि एक आदमी का काम कितना, एक लड़की के लिए भी उसका काम, उसकी मीटिंग्स कितनी इंपॉर्टेंट है. तो लोगों ने थोड़ा थोड़ा चेंज करना शुरू किया है। जैसे मैंने कहा कि जो ओल्डर जनरेशन है जिसको थोड़ा टाइम लगेगा पैट्रियार्कल सिस्टम से आने में, वहां मुझे लगता है कि द रोल इज मोर ऑफ अ बॉय और द मेल और द हस्बैंड इन द फैमिली टू टेल हिज पेरेंट्स टू मेक देम अंडरस्टैंड दैट माय वाइफ इज वर्किंग एंड आई हैव टू सपोर्ट हिम। इनवेरिएबली जब लड़के अपनी वाइफ को हेल्प करने लगते हैं तो मदर्स जो है लड़कों की या जो घर पे पेरेंट्स है वो कहते हैं तू तो जोरू का गुलाम हो गया है, ये तू बर्तन धो रहा है, मैंने तो तेरे को ये सब नहीं सिखाया था। तो उस वक्त पे उस लड़की को ये तुम क्या करवा रही हो मेरे बेटे से, वो ना करके आई थिंक द बॉय शुड टेक अ स्टैंड कि मम्मी ये मेरा भी घर है, मेरी वाइफ का नहीं है अकेले। ये घर जो है जब सबको ये समझ में आ जाएगा, जब एक आदमी है, और यहाँ इस ग्रुप में बिकॉज मैन हैव नॉट रिस्पॉन्डेड बट आई वुड लाइक टू गिव अ मैसेज टू, जेंडर सेंसिटिविटी की जरूरत लड़कियों से ज्यादा लड़कों को है। They have to be, yes, because we have to have a men brigade to bring the change. लड़कियां अपने आप को प्रूव नहीं करेंगी, उनके पार्टनर्स कहेंगे you don't need to prove yourself. You've already proved when you become when you have become a physiotherapist, you've already proved yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
Now it is my responsibility to give you a space in my house which is equal to mine.
Exactly, ma'am.
अगर मेरी 11:30 बजे रात को मीटिंग और इम्पोर्टेंट है तो मेरी जो वाइफ है, अगर उसका यूएस मैं एग्जांपल लेती हूँ बीटेक वाले या इंजीनियरिंग स्टूडेंट्स का, माय डॉटर इज देयर हु इज वर्किंग लाइक दैट, और 11:30 बजे रात को उसकी मीटिंग होती है क्योंकि उसका क्लाइंट यूएस में है। टाइमिंग के अकॉर्डिंगली आजकल बच्चों को काम करना पड़ रहा है, तो उसमें उसके हस्बैंड को ये समझना पड़ेगा कि अगर मेरी मीटिंग 11:30 है और मैं कर सकता हूं, और मेरी मम्मी घर में साइलेंस कर देती हैं कि रवि की मीटिंग है, कोई बोलेगा नहीं, कोई कुछ नहीं करेगा, तो उसी तरह से जब सीमा की मीटिंग है तो सीमा की मीटिंग के लिए भी घर में शांति हो जाएगी।
Exactly, ma'am.
So it has to be cumulative and more responsibility is on the other partner to realize. Once you realize, things will become very easy because he will be able to put the things in a right perspective in front of the parents. तो पेरेंट्स को वो समझ आ पाएगा। जब किसी को बुलाया जाता है जोरू का गुलाम, तो he should not take it as जोरू का गुलाम. He said मेरी वाइफ भी तो मेरी गुलाम है, तो मैं भी उसका गुलाम हूं। तो we have to, ये जो स्टेटमेंट्स हैं, ये जो स्टीरियोटिपिकल स्टेटमेंट्स हैं, इनको हमें समाज से निकालना है। कोई किसी का गुलाम नहीं है, काम करने से कोई गुलाम नहीं हो जाता है, ये मेरा भी घर है। अभी तो आप देखिए कितना परिवर्तन आ रहा है, आपकी एडवर्टाइजमेंट्स जो आ रही हैं। I think there is a one advertisement of Prill or something like that जिसमें बर्तन धोने वाली जो एड है, उसमें औरत को नहीं आदमी को दिखाया जा रहा है बर्तन धोते हुए। तो वो कहता है कि मैं ये ऐसे करूंगा, तो बोलती है अच्छा आपके काम में फिर मैं आपके भी मदद कर दूंगी। तो there is a change which is coming which is showing that कोविड के टाइम पे लोगों ने खुशी खुशी बर्तन धोते हुए अपनी फोटोग्राफ्स डाली, अपनी यूट्यूब्स डाली, हीरोज ने, हीरोइंस ने, फिल्म बॉलीवुड के लोगों ने अपनी ये चीजें डाली कि अरे भाई हम ये कर रहे हैं। तो सिर्फ एक यूट्यूब बनाने के लिए नहीं, लाइफ में भी ये परिवर्तन लाना बहुत जरूरी है। इट हैज टू बी एवरीडे मैटर, नॉट कि कोविड आएगा या पेंडेमिक आएगा तो ही हम ये करेंगे, राइट?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
राइट कविता?
Thank you so much, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So
Ma'am, one more question is there.
yeah,
Could you please tell us about how we can reduce the wage gap?
वेज गैप तो बेसिकली अकॉर्डिंग टू लॉ भी है जिसके अंदर अब वेज गैप हो नहीं सकता। बहुत रेयर है कि वेज गैप अब कहीं पे है, लेकिन if it is a kind of a organization which is under the aegis of government, तो उसके अंदर तो वेज वेरिएशन हो ही नहीं सकता। वन कैन गो टू लॉ और वन कैन टेक अ लीगल कोर्स कि अगर वेज वेरिएशन है तो। लेकिन हाँ, एवरीडे मैटर में जैसे लेबर है या किसी और केस के अंदर कोई जास्ती कर रहा है और गलत तरीके से वेज कम दे रहा है, तो उसमें जो आसपास लोग हैं, जो हम जैसे पढ़े लिखे लोग हैं या कोई एनजीओ है, उनको उनके लिए आवाज उठानी चाहिए और उसको फाइट करना चाहिए वेज गैप के लिए।
Okay, ma'am.
या एंड द women का अपने लेवल पे ये है कि दे शुड ट्राई नॉट टू टेक दोस जॉब्स वेयर यू आर नॉट बीइंग ट्रीटेड इक्वली और यू आर नॉट बीइंग पेड इक्वल। पर कई बार मजबूरी होती है कि जॉब मिल ही नहीं रही है और घर के हालात ऐसे हैं कि नौकरी करनी है, तो that's something which is very unfortunate, but one can fight, one can other people, NGOs or other social civil society organization can take up the cause and they can fight for them and they can get them the thing. Priyanshi, आप कुछ कहना चाह रहे हैं? You raised your hand. Yes, ma'am. Yesterday I saw a video. It says that the women are paid 19% less than men. So yes, women are, yeah, that variation is there. Women are paid less. आप प्राइवेट कॉलेजेस में भी देखेंगे, आप प्राइवेट कॉलेजेस, प्राइवेट स्कूल्स में देखेंगे कि आदमी को सैलरी पूरी मिल रही है और औरत को कम मिल रही है. ये इलीगल है, ये गलत है. और ऑब्वियसली यस, इन सोसाइटी पीपल आर, जो उनकी जरूरत का फायदा या उनकी मजबूरी का फायदा लोग उठाते हैं, उसके लिए फाइट करना पड़ेगा, खुद ही फाइट करना पड़ेगा उसको. और ट्राई टू अवॉइड टेकिंग अप जॉब्स. इफ एवरीबडी, गर्ल्स रिफ्यूज टू टेक दिस काइंड ऑफ जॉब्स, उनको मजबूरी में प्रॉपर पे देनी पड़ेगी. Yes. Anybody else? Priyanshi, you want to say something?
मैम, आई हैव अ क्वेश्चन. मैम, क्या नाम है, जैसे मोस्टली जो मेल्स हैं उनका जो ना माइंडसेट थोड़ा इस तरीके से बना हुआ है कि मतलब जितने सोसाइटी में चेंजेस आ रहे हैं जेंडर इक्वालिटी को लेकर के, पर अभी भी वो जो है ना इस चीज को एक्सेप्ट करने के लिए मतलब मानते नहीं है. तो मैम उनका माइंडसेट जो है वो थोड़ा किस तरीके से चेंज करा जाए?
माइंडसेट की तो प्रॉब्लम है ना अभिषेक, माइंडसेट की ही प्रॉब्लम है. चीजें तो बहुत बदल गई हैं, लड़कियां पढ़ रही हैं, लड़कियां इक्वल पार्टनर्स के तौर पे जगह जगह पे देयर आर चेंजेस, गर्ल्स आर वर्किंग एट डिफरेंट प्लेसेस. बेसिकली इट इज अ फाइट ऑफ पावर. जेंडर डिस्पैरिटी जो है फाइट ऑफ पावर है, कंट्रोल की बात है. एंड पावर जिसके हाथ में, वो कौन छोड़ना चाहता है? कोई नहीं छोड़ना चाहता, सबको बुरा लगता है पावर छोड़ते हुए. लेकिन ये समझना जरूरी है कि वन हैज टू रिलीज दैट पावर वन डे और अदर. It has to be, we have to do it. ये समझने और समझाने की जरूरत है. वो इसी तरह से किया जाएगा. आपको सेशंस लेने पड़ेंगे, या मान लीजिए आपका विचार बदल गए हैं, आप एक पॉजिटिव थॉट के साथ चल रहे हैं, पर जब आप अपने आसपास सोसाइटी में, फैमिली में, कहीं पे भी वो चीज देखेंगे, वहां पे रोकिए उसको, वहां पे उसके लिए फाइट कीजिए, खड़े होइए. ये बहुत ज्यादा नहीं तो एक डेंट तो डालेगा ना. एक छोटा सा एक शुरुआत तो करनी पड़ेगी, और ये शुरुआत करनी पड़ेगी बातचीत करके, चीजों को इनैक्ट करके. क्या कहते हैं, अगर लड़की आपकी बहन घर से जाना चाहती है नौकरी करने के लिए, या शाम को अपने फ्रेंड्स के साथ पार्टी के लिए जाना चाहती है और पेरेंट्स मना कर रहे हैं, तो आप खड़े होकर कहिए कि जाने दीजिए ना पापा, मुझे भी तो जाने देते हैं आप. दैट इज वेयर द चेंज विल कम. That is how the change will come. People who have already, or people who one has to understand that changes are inevitable and it has to come. Change is the only thing which is constant. तो परिवर्तन तो होना ही है, लेकिन हम जितना जल्दी, जितना उसको ज्यादा करेंगे, उतना सोसाइटी जो है वो बेटर होती चली जाएगी.
मैम,
यस
मैम, इक्वालिटी है लेकिन स्टिल इंडिया में ओनली गर्ल्स स्कूल या बॉयज स्कूल, क्वाइट स्कूल्स अभी भी प्रेजेंट नहीं है, मतलब दोनों जिसमें पढ़े. तो ऐसा क्यों? ये वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट को बढ़ावा, प्रमोशन कर रहे हैं, या फिर कई लोग स्टिल सिर्फ गर्ल्स को गर्ल्स स्कूल में डालना प्रेफर करते हैं एज कंपेयर टू बोथ?
Priyanshi, again, this is the mindset. This is a mindset where that reserved mind is there, reserved thoughts are there. एक पिछड़ी सोच जो है वो अभी भी रूरल एरियाज में और छोटे शहरों में प्रिवेल करती है कि लड़कियों के लिए स्कूल अलग होना चाहिए, लड़कों के लिए अलग होना चाहिए. वन नीड्स टू अंडरस्टैंड कि कोई जमाना होता था जिसमें कि लड़की स्कूल जाती थी तो सीधी स्कूल जाके घर आ जाती थी, या लड़का जाता था स्कूल आ जाता था. अब चीजें इतनी खुल गई हैं, इतना एक्सपोजर है, आप स्कूल अलग कर लेंगे, लेकिन आते जाते में या किसी टाइम पे जिस बच्चे को एक संबंध बनाना है किसी के साथ, वो कहीं पे भी बना सकता है. एक कोएड स्कूल या बॉय स्कूल अलग करने से क्या हो जाएगा? बल्कि it should be promoted that boys and girls should study together to understand each other more better.
Yes, exactly, ma'am.
The menstruation period which the girl goes through, लड़कों के लिए या लड़कियों के लिए एक बड़ी शर्मिंदगी की बात, एक बड़ी छुपाने वाली बात इसलिए रहती है क्योंकि बॉयज आर नॉट एक्सपोज्ड इट. यू विल नॉट फाइंड दिस काइंड ऑफ थिंग इन कोएड स्कूल्स, क्योंकि वो बॉयज, वो गर्ल्स ऐसे हालात में बड़े होते हैं जहां पे लड़कों को मालूम है कि हमारी क्लास की गर्ल्स आर menstruating. So they know what is menstruation. They know what is, they know the pain the girls are going through. They know the things that they are going through. So they become more aware, they become more sensitive. आपका फ्रेंड है, अब 2-3 लड़के 2-3 लड़कियां ग्रुप में हैं और उस दिन एक लड़की को बहुत पेन है आपके ग्रुप में, तो ऑब्वियसली ग्रुप में पता लग गया कि उसका शायद शी इज हैविंग हर मेंस्ट्रुएशन एट दैट टाइम. तो जो बॉयज हैं ग्रुप के वो सेंसिटिव हो जाते हैं. बैठ जाना, तू खड़ी क्यों है, तू बैठ जा, अच्छा तू रुक रुक, मैं मेडिसिन सेंटर से तेरे लिए पेन किलर लेके आता हूँ या दवाई लेके आता हूँ. तो वो उस वक्त मजाक नहीं उड़ा रहा है, वो उसके लिए सेंसिटिव हो रहा है और उसको समझ में आ रहा है कि मेंस्ट्रुएशन के टाइम पे women might be in pain, might be in turmoil. So tomorrow when he gets married, when he is into a relationship, he will understand the pain of his wife, he will understand the pain of his partner. तो ये कोएड वाली चीज जो है ये बिल्कुल प्रमोट की जानी चाहिए. लड़के लड़कियां जब, दैट इज व्हाट वी आर वांटिंग, कि अदर जेंडर शुड बी सेंसिटिव टू दी अदर जेंडर. लड़कों की वॉइस होर्स हो जाती है प्यूबर्टी पे, मोटी आवाज हो जाती है. लड़के बेचारे इतने शर्मा जाते हैं कि कई बार बात ही नहीं करते, कितना कितना टाइम की मेरी आवाज निकलेगी तो क्या समझ आएगा. पर उसके फ्रेंड्स कहते क्या हो गया, बोल ना, बोल क्यों नहीं रहा. तो धीरे धीरे वो उसको उस हिचक से, उस चीज से उसकी फीमेल फ्रेंड्स ही उसको बाहर ला सकती हैं कि क्यों इतना कॉन्शियस है, क्या हो गया इसमें. तो ऑब्वियसली दिस काइंड ऑफ ग्रोथ in schools will obviously be more positive. और शायद गवर्नमेंट को सोचना चाहिए कि there should be, पर प्रॉब्लम वही आती है कि अभी भी रूरल एरियाज के अंदर वो अगर आप कोएड स्कूल्स कर देंगे तो वो लड़की को पढ़ने ही नहीं भेजेंगे. पीपल हैव सच काइंड ऑफ पैट्रियार्कल माइंडसेट कि लड़की अगर लड़कों के साथ स्कूल में पढ़ेगी तो बिगड़ जाएगी और ये हो जाएगा और वो हो जाएगा, कि अगर उनको पता लगे कि स्कूल ही कोएड है तो वो लड़की को भेजते ही नहीं है. इसीलिए अभी भी बहुत जगहों पे गर्ल्स स्कूल है, कम से कम लड़की को पढ़ने तो भेजें. We should not stop girls from at least education. But I hope with this kind of sensitivity that you people are having, when you are into the field, when you are having this kind of opportunity in whatever form you will be, I'm very sure you will be fighting with this kind of disparity. When you see, you will encourage gender sensitivity, you will encourage both the sexes to be together and have sensitivity towards each other. So with this, I think I will end this here. Is it okay, Kavita? We can end the session. I think your next session is ready.
Yes, thank you so much, ma'am, for giving your precious time to us. Happy Women's Day, ma'am.
Happy Women's Day to everybody, and happy Founders Day to your college.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Take care, everybody.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, it's my immense pleasure to introduce you all about the very successful female physiotherapist, Anuja Dalvi, who believes that a true feminist should strongly support the gender neutrality. Anuja ma'am is a notable personality in the field of the sport physiotherapy in India. She is an alumni of the prestigious University of the South Australia, Adelaide. Anuja ma'am has over 11 years of the quality, national and international experience in the sports physiotherapy. She holds the title of being the first female physio, the support staff in IPL since its inception. She was appointed by the Rajasthan Royals in the 13th editions of the league in 2020 held at Dubai as a head of the COVID Task Force Committee and the assistant physio. Anuja ma'am is considered a barrier breaker and has inspired the many females to dream to work in elite sports and medicine stream in a patriarchal society like India. Anuja ma'am has worked with the elite Indian male and the female athlete with the equal success and is well respected for her professional stability. She has worked extensively in the cricket with the Mumbai Cricket Association, National Cricket Academy, BCCI, and Bangladesh Cricket Board. She has worked with the elite athletes from the tennis, badminton, and shooting, kabaddi, as well as gymnastics. She loves working with the kids and adolescents athletes as they are potential pool for the Indian sports in future. Along with her team, she is the central medical coordinator for the Pro Kabaddi League from 2017 and a consultant with the Go Sports Foundation, a prominent organization working for the Olympic and the Paralympic athletes. She runs her own physiotherapy practice in the Mumbai, that is live active physiotherapy, and has helped many renowned corporates and celebrities with her physio management. She is actively engaged in spreading the quality community and the sport medicine education through her venture Physio Concept Education. Anuja ma'am has been featured in the past in the Forbes India, Gulf News, Crick Buzz, Sports Star, ABP News, BBC Marathi, etc. Welcome you, ma'am.
Hello, everyone.
Happy Women's Day, ma'am.
Wish you the same. Can you all hear me?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible. Over to you, ma'am. You can start now.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the introduction, and happy Women's Day to all of you there, and happy Founders Day. I know it's your college's Founders Day celebration as well. Thank you to Kavita for inviting me for today's talk. I just wanted to ask one question. All those who are joining today are physio students or other faculties as well? Is everyone physio?
Ma'am, almost the number is many are physios and only some of them are from our other fields.
From other fields as well. Okay. All right. So I have been told that I have to give you all a motivational talk. I'll just start talking a little more about myself. In my introduction, they have given you, my professional work that I have put up so far. But when I started, I was, just like all of you, I was just, in KM College. If you know KM Hospital and GS Medical College, it's one of the prominent institutes of in India. And for Mumbai, it's the most important college that everybody, wants to get admitted to. So when I was in my 12th, of course, I had this dream. I wanted to be a doctor. I actually wanted to be an orthopedic surgeon. But then I did not get admission to KM. And I always thought, I have to study, in KM, in GS Medical College. So I took up physiotherapy because I knew about the field. I loved sports. I have been watching sport when I was a kid. I only used to watch sports, especially cricket and tennis were my favorite sports. So I said, ki chalo, okay, nahi mil raha hai MBBS mein, theek hai, it's fine. I have to study at the best of the college. I have to get inside KM because, there is tremendous exposure to patient population of all sorts in KM. So then I said, theek hai, I will be one of the best physios, at least if I can't be one of the best orthos in the country. So I took up admission and then, from there, basically the journey has started. I always loved cricket. I knew about physios who worked in cricket and I used to follow them very closely. That time, of course, there was no Instagram, there was no social media. So what I could do is, read about them from whatever internet sources I had or talk to other people that where these people have studied. And then I came across University of South Australia. So from my second year, I had decided that I would one day go to this university. And then Mark Jones, obviously, was the director of that university back then. And in my first year, we started learning about clinical reasoning. I was really fortunate to have good teachers at GS Medical College. And we were very in early stages were exposed to these, Maitland type of concepts of thinking. It's not just about what you do, it's about how you think as well, that what you're going to do. So if your thinking is really clear, and so that's the clinical reasoning concept in not just physiotherapy, it is true for any clinician. So all the more, I was determined, okay, I have to go to this university because Mark Jones is also there. My teachers are talking about his programs, about his articles, about his books. And that's how USA happened for me. But I would like to tell you all one thing, that before going to South Australia, to Adelaide, I worked for 3 years. I did not jump into master's program straight away. This is one thing, very, very, intensely I try to explain to students, that if you are going to do specialization, you have to treat it as specialization. A specialization can only happen once you have gathered some kind of experience. You can't do bachelor's and the very next year you are landing up, in a master's program. That won't lead you to on this path of specialization, because you haven't gathered enough experience. So how do you know that, which field do you like? What aspect of that field do you like? When you get into the program, how are you going to absorb the most out of the program? That is always the question, especially something like, let's say, a master's program in abroad universities. There is a lot to study. My course was a compressed course. It was almost a 2 years program compressed into like 10 months. We had a lot to gain. If I would not have a practice in physio, and if I would have been just a student, I probably wouldn't have gathered so much, or what we call it, I wouldn't have probably absorbed a lot out of that program. So, it's an urge, it's a request that you please gather some experience after your bachelor's, and only then go to do your master's. The oldest student in my batch when I was studying there in 2012 was 43-year-old female. She had practiced a lot outside. She was really smart. And then she realized that, okay, I would now like to do a post-graduation to gather more, of modern knowledge or recent knowledge. So that is something, it's a very Western culture. It's a very Western thinking, but I feel that there is a value in it. There is in fact, big value in it. So that's one point I wanted to put across, that make sure that you wait after your bachelor's, work in the relevant area. Always try to find a mentor, because in college we are all in a very protected environment. But when you come out in private colleges, private practices, it can be a completely different scenario. You have to manage variety of clients and their mentality and variety of situations on your own. When you're in colleges, there are always seniors around you, there are teachers around you, but that won't happen when you're in a private practice. So it's a very different world. And especially then when you go out and start doing some on-field work, when you're doing some sports, when you're meeting different faculties, right? You're meeting coaches, you're meeting strength and conditioning coaches or trainers. You can work with, let's say, sponsors or, these foundations with whom I work. There are athlete managers who work with particular athletes. So you might have to deal with people from business backgrounds or people from MBA backgrounds or various other people. There are many stakeholders. We call them stakeholders. It's a whole system. A sport is not where somebody comes into your practice. You have a private conversation, you treat them, and that's it. That's not where the chapter closes. In sports, we have to manage different stakeholders. So you have to develop your personality for that. That's a key to be successful, in various things that I have done in the past and still doing. You have to develop your personality as well, which is something I find even when I was in Australia, I don't think we had anybody talking to us about personality development or about communication, about, let's say, administrative writing, which things which you need when you come out of colleges. So make sure you carve your personality as well, and so which is far different than just studying. Okay, so the soft skills, what we call, all these you can learn out of your mentor. I was fortunate to have met different mentors in my life, right from like 2009 when I passed out. I have met really good people. I have learned a lot just by observing them or being with them or working with them, which I find, like people say, if you see my timeline, if I write my timeline, since the time I came out from 2009, every year I have done something new and exciting. And there hasn't been a dull year or dull moment. And some people like to call it luck. They'll say, oh, what, she's really lucky. I feel otherwise. Luck can bring you things, probably, yes. But if you do not put in your hard work, and if you do not get the thing done, or you can't get the assignment completed, that luck is of no use. And if it was only a matter of luck, then the next project or the next assignment doesn't come to you. People very easily forget that. So our luck can be for 1 year, but fortunately I have done some consistent work for many years now. Our luck can't be existing, for those many years. So yes, I say I was fortunate to have met mentors in life, from whom I have learned a lot. So I urge to you again, if you don't go out, if you don't meet different people, you might not find that one mentor who can really guide you to become the best version of yourself. So make sure you go out, meet a lot of people, try to do observership programs, try to, probably cross boundaries. You can come to probably Mumbai, go to Bangalore, and if the world is coming closer, we have to start breaking boundaries as well. So you can explore that side of things as well. Maybe there is somebody sitting in Bangalore, maybe there's someone sitting in Mumbai whom you really want to reach out to. And through social media, I mean, it's getting really easy nowadays. So many people, so many students write to me on social media. And I mean, to best of my capacity, I try to help them. I try to answer their questions. But tomorrow, if you ask me, okay, how to be a physio with BCCI, that's probably not a good question. Because one has to really put in a large amount of work and lots of years into it. So probably there's not a good question to ask, not even to me or not even to your mentors, okay? Better questions would be, what do I lack and how do I become better? Something which I don't get students asking me. I run my own observership program, training program, and I try to build different aspects of personality of that person and not just professional knowledge. And I would really like somebody come in and ask, what do I lack and how do I get better? Not just knowledge wise, but tell me about my overall personality. Because that is going, as I said already, that is going to make a much better, it's not just about physio, a much better practitioner, a much better clinician, because you can relate to your clients very well. A client can be a sports person, a client can be a 90-year-old lady walking into your clinic, or a client can be, like a 9-year-old boy. You need to connect to people because the field that we are in is all about people management. This is all about people management. Yes, we have, loads of skills. Sorry, I think somebody's mic is
आपका इसमें भी बहुत कलर है, कलर ना होने की वजह से ये हो रहा है। और आपने घर में ही किया था इसको, नीचे कुछ बिछाया,
someone's mic is on.
आप इसमें अभी यहाँ पे करो।
Thank you. sorry, I forgot. I was saying, yeah, the field which we are in is all about people management. So remember to develop your personality in that regard as well. And that is why we are called physiotherapists. There is a big word therapist in our profession's name. And please do not forget that. Try to develop human side of your field as well. Well, about rest of my journey has been, fortunately, again, I mean, there were hiccups, there were incidences where I really wanted to do something and it did not get it. But if I look back on those times after 2 years, after 3 years, the way the life has shaped is actually for better. So sometimes if you don't get things, don't be upset, because in the large picture, in the greater picture, you will find that everything happens for good, and something was meant to happen is for the good of it. So always look at the positive side of it. Don't look at the negative side. What else? I mean, I'm here to actually converse with all of you. If you have any questions, like, I'll be happy to answer. I did IPL in 2020. That was with Rajasthan Royals, but that has been one of the I would say one of the big stepping stones in my life so far. Great learning experience. And that's when I started, realizing about the gender, because today is Women's Day, and, the speaker before me, she was talking about gender equality. And yes, I have largely also experienced it, that people do get things, take things stereotyped, and they don't want to see females in certain roles, and it's just their mentality. And if the females are trying to do it to the best of their capacity, and if it's not matching, it again depends on the men around you, how to react or how to adjust. Because that can happen in sports. Why I'm saying about this one particular thing is, physiologically, obviously, there is some limitation, and which females have to accept. So, and we have to not just accept it, we have to adjust to it and try to find ways around it. So when I say that, I myself, being a sports physiotherapist, or I'm heavily into manual therapy, which is of Maitland style. And I mean, I may look really thin right now in front of you, but I'm quite strong. And I have never allowed anybody to carry my own physio bed. Till the time I was doing traveling and on-field work, I have always carried that 17 kg bed on my shoulder. And there used to be men, coming and offering for help, but I never took help from anyone, because that was my way to show that, okay, I can do this and I can carry my own bed. I do not need help just because I'm a female. I do not need physical help every time. If I can do it, I should do it till the time, my body allows me. So small things like these can set the precedence, can set a good example. But there might be situations wherein you have to adjust. And as I said, you have to figure out different ways. So there can be some other skill set that you have with which you can achieve effect. Or if you are a part of the team, you can take up the workload, which, probably you are good at. And, let other people handle something which you cannot manage. So there are ways in which you are a female, but you don't have to limit yourself. Go ahead and be a part of the team as well, because everywhere you see that no single profession, depends on one person, especially if we are talking about sports industry. There are many other stakeholders, and you have to become a part of the team, and then you have to show the talent that you have. So while my introduction was on, and she said, I strongly believe in gender neutrality. So that's where I come from. I do not think that females are superior, and we have no right to think about it. I come from a metro city, from Mumbai. So there are probably very few occasions where I have experienced inequality myself as such. At a certain level, yes, I have. I still do when I'm at my practice as well. But I feel that we have to go beyond male and female. I feel there is no male and female. There are just traits. Even males can act like females sometimes, the traits that we have stereotyped कि ये ऐसे ही होते हैं females और males ऐसे ही होते हैं. Some females, I have seen very headstrong females. I have seen females who do not cry at all, and they're really strong, strong mentally, strong physically as well. Or at the same time, I have seen some males, who can show a little bit of confusion, who can be, a little bit vulnerable, or who can probably, let's say, crying is something, or showing emotions is something always considered as a female trait. So I always say that there are traits, male and female traits, probably, if we want to call them, but we have to go beyond it, and we have to go towards more and more of gender neutrality. So I try to treat my own employees in certain manner, to support gender neutrality, or even the patients. For example, let me tell you like a simple thing, that whenever we pick up a phone of any client, or new client especially, we do not ask them if you want a male therapist or a female therapist, because we are already producing or setting up a bias in their head. There had been very, very rare occasions when such kind of request has come, but otherwise at the clinic, everybody treats everyone, and we have certain standards, certain set methods by which we do not make any opposite gender feel offended. So that is something really small, but at my practice, in my team, we have tried setting up that gender neutrality. So that's just about a little bit about gender equality and my thoughts. If anybody wanted to listen to my thoughts, just because I have worked in a male-dominated field, or male-dominated let's say scenario, something like IPL. I think I'll stop talking, and if you have any questions now, you can go ahead and ask me.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
Ma'am, I've been following you on Instagram for quite some time now, and I want to tell you that you've been an inspiration. I just want to ask that, like, if you've come across any inappropriate comment or bias because of his gender, so how do you deal that situation at that moment to that person?
Okay, Chavi, right? Chavi, I actually haven't come across any comments, especially related to my work and field as such. I'll tell you a little bit of background about this. Many people ask me this question, that when you were an IPL or when you treat male players, I have been also around a lot of male badminton players or kabaddi. We handle the entire PKL for medical management, and the two members who worked with me on that project are females. And two male colleagues also have worked, but this time in the bubble, there were only two females from my team, and I was there. So, and kabaddi is obviously like very male-dominated field, right? There are not many females working with those franchises, and so there is this. I feel, as I said, male and female traits, and not male and females as such in my world, in gender-neutral world. So you have to establish a certain level of confidence. The first thing which actually a person notices is your attire, right? What you're wearing, and how your hair are tied, or are you wearing any dangling things, or how is your accessory, like how is my frame that I'm wearing right now. So building that confidence through attire is very, very important for me. If I have done it rightly, I feel I have observed. I mean, there are people, who will say, or some of my colleagues will also probably object me on saying this, but I feel that's the first thing that comes into your notice when you are in professional world. If you have set your confidence levels right, people would not cross their limits, is what is my experiences. It's your attire, it's the way you talk, it's the way you carry yourself, is the way you are talking to other people. It matters a lot. It's the way I talk to my clients or my players while on field or in the clinic, and that is really important for me. Fortunately, again, I never had any such experience where I felt awkward or where I had any comments from anyone. Maybe once a while, probably in after games parties or something, if somebody said something, but then, I mean, it just happened like once actually. But there are ways we can always handle it. Ignoring it may not be the answer to it. And giving it back in the face is also probably not the way you would want to go ahead, because this is a professional world. You need to be good with everyone. So I really don't have an answer for it, but it probably has happened just once. But I hope I tried to give you my point of view of this, that if you have, set your attire right, set your confidence level right, and your body language right, there are high chances you will prevent such incidences happening to you, especially when you have a lot of males around you.
Yes,
I hope
ma'am.
that
Thank you so much.
answers.
Yes, ma'am.
Anyone else wants to ask anything? And also the field that we come from, we are still related to medical field. So I find males generally give a lot of respect, and especially after a few years, the word will go around that, oh, she's a really good physio, she's really professional, and this kind of word you want to go around. So people who are going to come in contact with you, they already have a certain image about you in their mind, and which helps a lot. Anyone else?
Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us.
My pleasure.
And giving your precious time to us. It's really nice to talking to you, ma'am, and sharing the way you shared your experience will definitely help all of us in the future. And thank you so much, ma'am, for giving your time. Happy Women's Day, ma'am.
Happy Women's Day.
Thank you.
And happy Founders Day to all of you. And good luck for your careers. Thank you. Thanks for having me. Bye.
Bye. On the occasion of the Women's Day, our students of Banarsi Das Shantiwala Institute of Physiotherapy performed a Nukkad Natak on the women's health. A woman's health status matters not only herself, even her family and the next generation. The health of the families and the communities are no doubt tied to the health of the woman. The illness or the death of the woman has a serious and the far-reaching consequences for the health of her children, family, and the community too. Today, women's health is taking a higher position in the society as a person have some come to realize that while women have many of the same diseases as men, their symptoms and the treatments may not always be identical. It's rightly said that healthy women, healthy world. Thank you. Now we are going to play the video the students have done. I hope you will enjoy that video. आ रही होगी।
कैसी हो? अरे यार बस पूछ मत, कंधे और गर्दन में बहुत दर्द रहता है। क्या बोल रही हो? हाँ बहन सही में, गर्दन अकड़ी अकड़ी सी रहती है, कंधे में भी दर्द रहता है और कमजोरी से भी बहुत महसूस होती है। हाँ तो डॉक्टर के पास ले चलते हैं।
आइए बताइए क्या प्रॉब्लम है?
डॉक्टर साहब कंधे और गर्दन में बहुत दर्द रहता है।
जरा चेक कीजिए इन्हें।
इधर आइए। क्या दिक्कत है इन्हें?
ज्यादा कुछ नहीं, इन्हें बस सर्वाइकल स्पॉन्डाइलोसिस है।
सर्वाइकल स्पॉन्डाइलोसिस मतलब?
सर्वाइकल स्पॉन्डाइलोसिस गर्दन के नसों के दबने से होने वाले दर्द को कहते हैं। इसके लक्षण गर्दन में दर्द होना, कंधों में दर्द होना, गर्दन अकड़ जाना, हाथों में दर्द होना, झंझनाहट महसूस होना और सुन पड़ जाना इत्यादि है।
आप ठीक हो जाएंगे, आप टेंशन मत लीजिए। जो मांसपेशियों का दर्द है वो आपको दवाइयाँ और स्टेरॉइड इंजेक्शन देके ठीक कर दिया जाएगा। बाकी फिजियोथेरेपी जो अनिवार्य है वो आपको करवा लेनी चाहिए। और आप ज़्यादा टेंशन मत लीजिएगा। ये घर में जो आप काम करते हो, औरतें जो काम करती हैं उनको यही सब बीमारी होती है। ओके?
और ये ऑफिस गोइंग महिलाओं में भी पाई जाती है, तो इसमें डरने की कोई जरूरत नहीं।
धन्यवाद डॉक्टर साहब।
अरे दिया, तू आज कॉलेज नहीं गई?
नहीं यार, तबीयत कुछ ठीक नहीं थी।
ये तेरे चेहरे और बालों को क्या हुआ?
क्या बताऊं, बाल तो पानी की तरह झड़ रहे हैं, सर पे चेहरे पे मुहासे हो गए हैं और पेट में दर्द तो मानो आम ही बात है।
तो क्या तूने डॉक्टर को नहीं दिखाया?
मैंने सोचा तो था पर अभी तक गई नहीं डॉक्टर के पास।
ऐसी लापरवाही ठीक नहीं। मेरी बहन को भी यही दिक्कत थी। चलो मैं तुम्हें डॉक्टर के पास लेके चलती हूँ।
चलो
आइए मैडम आइए।
नमस्कार डॉक्टर साहिबा, मेरे बाल झड़ रहे हैं, चेहरे पे मुहासे हो गए हैं और मेरा पेट तो हमेशा ही दुखता है। ये कुछ रिपोर्ट है?
अरे इन्हें तो पीसीओएस है।
बोले ये क्या भला है?
पीसीओएस यानी पॉलीसिस्टिक ओवेरियन सिंड्रोम। इसे महिलाओं के शरीर में सामान्य मात्रा से बहुत अधिक हार्मोन्स बनते हैं और हार्मोन्स के असंतुलन की वजह से पीरियड्स भी नियमित नहीं रहते हैं।
आगे जाकर इसमें प्रेगनेंसी में भी दिक्कत होती है। 20 से 30 साल की उम्र में बीमारी सबसे ज्यादा पाई जाती है। चेहरे पर अनचाहे बाल, मुहासे, अन्य इसके लक्षण होते हैं।
तो इसका इलाज क्या है?
पीसीओएस का कोई इलाज नहीं है। उपचार के तौर पर जीवन शैली में बदलाव, वजन कम करना और व्यायाम शामिल किया जा सकता है।
डॉक्टर आपको गर्भनिरोधक दवाइयाँ देंगे जिससे आपके हार्मोन के बिगड़े चक्र को वापस संतुलित किया जा सकेगा।
धन्यवाद डॉक्टर साहिबा, मैं आगे से ध्यान रखूंगी।
जी। अरे बेटी, पापा आने वाले हैं, खाने की तैयारी करो।
मम्मी मेरी तबीयत ठीक नहीं है, आप ही बना लीजिए।
काम चोर कहेंगी, बिल्कुल आलसी है। घर में एक नौकर रख रखे जो सारा दिन काम करता रहे।
मैं बहाना नहीं मार रही, मेरी सच में तबीयत खराब है मम्मी।
क्या आफत हो गई तेरे को?
मेरा पेट दर्द है, मेरे को उल्टियाँ हो रही है और सर भी दर्द हो रहा है।
तो तब से क्यों नहीं बताया? चल अब डॉक्टर के पास। डॉक्टर साहब, मेरी बेटी के पेट में दर्द है, इसे बुखार भी हो रहा है, जरा एक बार देखिए क्या दिक्कत हुई है इसे। देखिए जरा।
अरे गुड़िया को तो पीआईडी है।
हे भगवान, ये क्या है डॉक्टर साहब?
पीआईडी यानी पेल्विक इन्फ्लेमेटरी डिजीज। मगर इसमें घबराने की बात नहीं है। आजकल की बदलती जीवन शैली के कारण ये बहुत ही आम समस्या हो गई है।
इसमें बुखार, पेट दर्द, उल्टी आना, पेशाब करने में दिक्कत, सफेद पानी की दिक्कत और जुलाब जैसी परेशानी भी हो सकती है।
हे भगवान, इसने मुझे अभी तक नहीं बताई ये सब चीजें।
अरे नहीं बहन जी, घबराइए मत, ऐसी कोई टेंशन वाली बात नहीं है, ज्यादा सीरियस नहीं है, बस आपको इनके कुछ टेस्ट करवाने खाने होंगे और इन्हें दवाइयाँ लिख दी गई हैं, वो टाइम से ले लीजिएगा। इस बीमारी में आराम करना बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है और अधिक मात्रा में पानी भी पीना चाहिए। अगर ज्यादा दर्द है तो फिजियोथेरेपी भी कराई जा सकती है।
ठीक है डॉक्टर साहब, हम ध्यान रखेंगे। आओ बेटा।
हाय वंदना, कैसी हो? पढ़ाई कैसी चल रही है? यार ठीक ही हूँ, और पढ़ाई का तो पूछ ही मत। पढ़ाई का बोझ इतना बढ़ गया है कि अब तो मेरी पीठ भी दुखने लगी है। सुबह होती नहीं है कि पीठ दर्द चालू हो जाता है। और क्या, अब उम्र हो गई है तेरी, लाजमी है। चल डॉक्टर को दिखाने चलते हैं। इतनी लापरवाही भी ठीक नहीं, इलाज से आधे परेशानियां खत्म हो जाती हैं। चल। नमस्ते डॉक्टर।
आइए आइए, क्या तकलीफ है आपको?
इसकी पीठ में दर्द रहता है।
दिखाइए। कब से है आपको?
बहुत समय से है। इससे ज्यादा नहीं झुका जाता।
इन्हें डिस्क प्रोलैप्स है।
ये क्या होता है?
मैम बताएंगे।
यह एक प्रकार का कमर दर्द है जिसमें शरीर के एक हिस्से में लगातार दर्द रहता है। धीरे धीरे वो पैरों की ओर फैलता है। रात में अचानक दर्द होता है, चलने में झुकने में भी दर्द होता है और डिस्क के हिस्से में झंझनाहट और जलन महसूस होती है।
तो डॉक्टर, इसका क्या इलाज है?
टेंशन की बात नहीं है, दर्द निवारक दवाओं से रोगी को आराम पहुंचेगा। 2-3 हफ्ते बेड रेस्ट लेना होगा और दर्द कम होने के बाद फिजियोथेरेपी ट्रीटमेंट करवाना होगा।
थैंक यू डॉक्टर।
अरे अदिति, क्या हाल है यार? बहुत दिनों बाद दिखी। तुमने तो काफी वजन बढ़ा लिया है।
तुम्हें शर्म नहीं आती ऐसे किसी की बॉडी के ऊपर कमेंट करते हुए?
नहीं, मैं तुम्हारा मजाक नहीं बना रहा था। मैं तो तुम्हारी भलाई के लिए बोल रहा था। अगर तुम वजन कम करोगे तो इससे तुम्हारी ही सेहत अच्छी रहेगी।
इसमें क्या भलाई भरा? तुम तो बॉडी शेमिंग को प्रमोट कर रहे हो।
अरे नहीं, ऐसी कोई बात नहीं है यार। तुम्हें नहीं पता क्या मोटापे की वजह से या वजन बढ़ने की वजह से कितनी सारी बीमारियां हो सकती हैं?
ऐसा भी होता है क्या?
और क्या, मोटापे या वजन बढ़ने की वजह से ऐसी कितनी सारी बीमारियां जो ट्रिगर हो सकती हैं, जैसे कि स्ट्रोक, ऑस्टियोआर्थराइटिस, पीसीओडी और तो और कैंसर जैसी बड़ी बीमारियां भी ट्रिगर हो सकती हैं। इसके साथ साथ हमें सांस लेने में दिक्कत हो सकती है, सोने में दिक्कत हो सकती है और तो और सबसे ज़्यादा दिमागी तनाव भी बढ़ता है।
यार मुझे तो पता ही नहीं था। मैं अपने मोटापे को कम करूंगी और हेल्दी वेट मेंटेन करूंगी।
हाँ बिल्कुल, और ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा हेल्दी खाना खाना, समय पे सोना, समय पे उठना बहुत ज़रूरी है और तो और डेली एक्सरसाइज करिए, जिससे आपका वेट कम ही नहीं होगा और तो मेंटेन भी कर पाओगे।
थैंक यू सो मच यार, इतना सब कुछ बताने के लिए। अब मैं मोटापे को अपने ऊपर हावी नहीं होने दूंगी।
और ये तो बहुत कुछ चंद बीमारियां थी जो हमने आपको बताई हैं। इसके अलावा भी ऐसी कई सारी बीमारियां हैं जो महिलाओं में हो सकती हैं, जैसे
गठिया, लकवा,
स्पॉन्डिलाइसिस,
सियाटिका,
कंधा जाम,
जोड़ों में दर्द, आर्थराइटिस, गर्दन में दर्द, स्लिप डिस्क।
अगर इन सब बीमारियों से आप या आपके जानने वाले पीड़ित हैं तो आप फिजियोथेरेपी के उपचार से इन सबको ठीक कर सकते हैं।
इसलिए यहीं पास बनासदास चांदीवाला की जनरल ओपीडी है, जहां पर आप इन सब बीमारियों का इलाज बहुत ही कम दाम में करा सकते हैं। टाइमिंग्स है 9 से 4, सोमवार से शनिवार।
धन्यवाद।
Thank you everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed and learned how much important it is for us to deal with the women health problems with proper medical management and how physiotherapy can help in its management as well. Now I'm going to talk about women health webinar series that happened in our college. Women who are key in maintaining healthy families access the health education more than men, both for themselves and on behalf of their children. Many become pregnant and give birth, a significant event, then typically become their child's primary caregiver, a role that greatly influences household health overall. It really saddens me to say that women's health is a very neglected topic in our country, and it's even more disturbing that women think that their health is not something of importance. We at Banarsidas Chandiwala Institute of Physiotherapy wanted to change this, and we came up with an online CME on pelvic girdle pain, a physiotherapy perspective to not only promote women's health, but also to train and upgrade physiotherapists with newer techniques used in rehabilitation. Through all this, we try to deliver maximum about pregnancy and other gynecological conditions that must not be ignored, rather should be prioritized. Our program succeeded in order to clear many misconceptions regarding women's health. After this, we started a series of online case presentations. We identified women health topic which are less discussed and have high prevalence, and not to present the cases we roped in clinicians practicing in the field of women health. We received an overwhelming response from the students and professionals. Now, I would like to take this opportunity and bring this to your attention that Banarsi Das Chandiwala Institute of Physiotherapy organized an event in remembrance of Founders Day. The events included tug of war, badminton, and art competition. Okay. Yeah. Our students were really passionate for this event and played exceptionally well with the hints of healthy competition among their peers. So I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate and announce our winners for that day. Also, before that, I would like to show you a glimpse of the sports day event.
कुछ पाने की हो आस आस, कोई अरमा हो जो खास खास आशाएं, हर कोशिश में हो बार बार, करे दरियाओं को आर पार आशाएं, तूफानों को चीर के मंजिलों को छीन ले आशाएं,
I would also like to show a video on Women Health webinar series, which happened in our college. Now, I would like to take an opportunity to announce the winners of the event that we our college organized in remembrance of the Founders Day. So the winner of drawing competition is Simran Sinha of BPT 4th year. In badminton, in the category female, the first position was bagged by Shweta Singh from BPT 4th year, and the second position we have Ridhima Gupta from BPT 3rd year. In the male category of the badminton sport, the first position was bagged by Gaurav Bisht, BPT 2nd year, and the second position was bagged by Tanishq from BPT 1st year. Our last event, which was tug of war, in the category male, the winner is BPT 4th year, with the following names of the winners as Akash, Kanishq, Sameer, Avinash, Shubham, Rupesh, Vishal, and Sukant. For the female category in tug of war, the winners is the BPT 2nd year batch, with the following as the winners: Sakshi, Ikra, Nikita, Nandini, Diya, Avasthi, Sonali, and Nayanshri. I would like to congratulate all the participants and the winners for their active participation. Now, to bring the event to an end, I would like to call upon Dr. Kavita ma'am to give us a vote of thanks. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Chavi. Feminism is not about making a women stronger. Women, they are already strong. It's about changing the way the world perceives their strength. It is a famous quote by G.D. Anderson, and it is truly said, which is also reflected throughout our event. Very good afternoon, everyone. I would maintain that thanks are the highest form of thoughts. Gratitude is the happiness doubled by wonder, and joy is the simplest form of gratitude. It is such an honor for me to get the opportunity to thank all the dignitaries. On the behalf of Banarsi Das Chandiwala Institute of Physiotherapy, I would like to express my gratitude to all the esteemed delegates for their presence and contributions to make this event great success. I extend my gratitude to Dr. Nidhi Kalra, officiating in charge of Banarsi Das Chandiwala Institute of Physiotherapy, for encouraging us and for addressing the audience with a powerful speech. I would also like to thank Mr. Vipul Gupta, Vice Chairman, Banarsi Das Chandiwala Trust, to always bless us and encourage us for conducting such events. It's my pleasure to express my gratitude to Dr. Ushwinder Kaur Popley for enlightening us on such a sensitive topic and helping us understand to break gender stereotypes and give women equal opportunities. I would also like to thank Dr. Anuja Dalve for inspiring young female physios to fight for their place in their careers and be a model that female can be as successful as man in this 21st century with her motivational talk. Thank you all once again to take some time out of your busy schedules to grace our event. I must also thank the organizing team, volunteers for working hard for past few days to make this event successful. I congratulate all the winners as well as participants for their active participation. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for making this successful event.